Now, before I take questions, I would like to address an extremely dishonest narrative that we've seen emerging over the past few days. Many outlets in this room have been fear-mongering the American people into believing there is a constitutional crisis taking place here at the White House. I've been hearing those words a lot lately. But in fact, the real constitutional crisis is taking place within our judicial branch, where district court judges in liberal districts across the country are abusing their power to unilaterally block President Trump's basic executive authority.
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
So can I ask you a question?
What do you have? Go ahead. No, that's enough. Go ahead.
Can I ask? But that wasn't my question.
The problem is you don't write the truth. So, as far as I'm concerned, I want to go to the next
Can I ask you a question about...
No, not CNN, please. Go ahead.
The White House has not responded to these allegations.
I told you. CNN is fake news. Don't talk to me. Go ahead, please.
But he says he was retaliated against, and that's why he was removed from his job. Do you have a response to that?
Okay, next question.
Mr. President, I have...
Nigga, did you know that I can see you?
Who is the most masculine Democrat right now in America? Mayor Pete?
Is that a gay joke?
No. Mayor Pete. No. Well, no, it's just that he's not particularly masculine. Nobody's like, oh, Mayor Pete, he's a badass. Chuck Schumer? Is anybody like, hey, Chuck Schumer holding up an avocado and a beer to talk about the Super Bowl? Is anybody like, hey, that's a dude I want to hang out with?
But Trump's like a grandpa.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Trump took a bullet in his ear and immediately stood up and said, fight, fight, fight. Every man in America and most of the women out here were impressed by that, even if the women won't admit it. She's shaking her head strong. And second part of this, basically summing it up, Democrats for men are pussies and Republicans
Democrats for men
are pussies. There are no masculine men in the Democrat Party right now.
I mean, we just want volunteers, not hostages. At this point, because,
I also find it rich that all of the sudden the other side has some problem with successful businessmen being involved in politics whenever you guys are the party of George Soros, of Bill and Melinda Gates, of Sheryl Sandberg, of Mackenzie Bezos, of Taylor Swift, of so many other billionaires across the country, as well as every woke, weird pervert in Hollywood. I find this incredibly disingenuous. I think the reality is that the Republican Party under President Trump has a very clear mandate from voters, and you guys don't like it because voters rejected everything you stand for and every policy that you've shoved down the American people's throats over the past 4 years, whether it's open borders, a failing economy, raging inflation, this weird woke stuff that you guys have been shoving down our children's throats, and the voters rejected you and they welcomed our party.
Have you ever seen that video?
No.
Pull that video up, because it's one of my favorite.
I've never seen a white male billionaire screaming at the top of his lungs, this whole system is rigged. And the moderator said, well, Mr. Trump, if in fact the system is rigged, what would be your evidence? Remember what he said, bro? He said,
I absolutely used it, and so did Warren Buffett, and so did George Soros, and so did many of the other people that Hillary is getting money from.
No one ever heard someone say something that true. And then Hillary Clinton tried to punch him in the taxes. She said, this man doesn't pay his taxes. He shot right back.
See, I understand the tax code better than anybody that's ever run for president, and it's extremely complex.
And then he said,
she complains that Donald Trump took advantage of the tax code. Well, why didn't she change it? Why didn't you change it when you were a senator? The reason you didn't is that all your friends take the same advantage that I do. Hillary Clinton has friends that want all of these provisions.
And with that, my friends, the star was born.
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
But then Kennedy's like, it's not our fault, it's because of Kathleen Kennedy. But then Kathleen Kennedy says like, fuck it, make it more lame. And everyone in town is like, no, please, Kathleen Kennedy, stop ruining everything. But Kathleen Kennedy is all like, put another gay diverse woman in it, make it more fucking lame. And the Disney stock just keeps going down and down and down. And then Bob Iger is all like, no, what's going on with my stars? No, Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes. What would you say you do here?
Well, look, I already told you. I deal with the goddamn customers so the engineers don't have to. I have people skills. I am good at dealing with people. Can't you understand that? What the hell is wrong with you people?
Brian Mast just pulled the funniest troll move. He straight up corrected the evicted protesters like, yeah, PEPFAR funding was restored.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for the opportunity to testify before this committee. My name is Max Primorak. I am a senior research fellow at the Heritage Foundation. I previously served at the U.S. Agency for International...
PEPFAR saves lives! Restore AIDS funding now! PEPFAR saves lives! Restore AIDS funding now! PEPFAR saves lives! Restore AIDS funding now! PEPFAR saves lives!
I guess these guys don't watch the news. They didn't realize that PEPFAR was one of the many programs that did prove to be life-saving, so the funding was restored. Somebody better give them a link to, I don't know, maybe Fox News or something like that.
RICO is not a crime. It is a category. What is the
category of crime?
Oh, it's time to admit, huh, that a lot of y'all see your own people through the eyes of them folks. That's the reason why you got all these surface level critiques about hood ghetto people.
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
I do have respect. You need to have some. Wow.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Thank you for your service.
I didn't want to turn around.
Wearing that hat in public.
Because y'all got false narratives out there, and y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
I'm also the supervisor of Thorn Township. So when do I have time for little people? I don't. They beneath me. They beneath me.
And not let people feed you poison.
Hello, Democrats. Hey, I am speaking, and I would love your attention. There is a black woman at this podium, and I deserve your attention like the 11 people who went before me. Yes, I am speaking.
What's going on around here? Put down that comedy relief. What's the big idea? I'm the hero of this picture. Carry me. Give me the shears. Give me 1 dozen rollers.
You ain't shit. You ain't even a fucking pig no more.
You think that makes me less dangerous or more?
The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine? Well, are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with the state and federal laws.
Well, we are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
No, like this isn't me.
¿Qué pues, pinche gringo mamón?
U.S. Border Protection. How can I help you?
Pues sí. You can help me. Devuélveme mi trabajo. ¿Qué hiciste? ¿Qué hiciste, cabrón? ¡Me destrozaste el coche, pinche gringo!
Thanks for your collaboration. And remember, don't come back again.
¡Y el gringo nos quiere cobrar el muro! ¡Dile que no, pinche gringo racista! ¡Pues no te pagaremos nada!
Wait a minute, please.
Señor Trump.
It's appropriate that...
Feel bad for them coons in the White House.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever this video finds you. Welcome to Tex Friday Night Live. What's up? Oh, let me drop the link. I'm sorry, let me drop the link. I see Charles is doing his thing. He'll probably join us soon. hold on. You know what? I forgot to shoot. You know what? I forgot to do the whole thing. I was on the phone with Mosh up until about 9 o'clock, so I'm a little behind schedule. I apologize. What's going on, Lewis?
Yo, what up? What up?
You get a little caught off guard there?
No, I was getting my food.
Oh, okay. What's up, AB? Come on in. We ready? We ready? I'm trying to get all these videos together because, man, we got a lot to discuss. Let's start off with a little ruined Leon till everybody's able to get situated. All right. So I love this guy. I always said, like, if I had a son and he had a YouTube channel, he would act like him. I would hope, which is a compliment because I really like I like this guy's material and everything. So, do I look green? I do look green. All right, hold on. So let me play this and then
people.
Yeah, let me play this. Let me get my lights together.
I got sent something, and personally, when someone sends me things and they want me to react to it, I just know they want me to be mad at something. And I see this, and I see most influencers will go broke, and I feel like I know how this might go. So go ahead.
Controversial opinion, but I think that most influencers are going to end up going broke.
Yes, I also believe that for a number of reasons. One, they think that really big paycheck they get that first time means they're going to get it the next time and the time after that. But because nobody understands that these paychecks as content creators, but if you're on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, it doesn't matter. They fluctuate in ways that you could think you've made it based off of that first check. But then that second check come in and it's like, ooh, maybe, just maybe this isn't something that I should put 100% of my chips in. Maybe I could put like 30% of my chips in it, but you know, that could be pretty good. And maybe if I grow it over time, it could be perfectly fine. But you know, 100% of the chips is never going to be a lucrative decision unless you get stupendously lucky. And considering the woman on the screen, I don't think she was considerably stupendously lucky.
I became an influencer in 2020 when Black people started trending.
I don't know why you're saying in 2020 Black people started trending. What were we doing in 2019?
And it was great. My platform was growing at an exponential rate.
Okay.
I was able to quickly start making money and quickly
Okay.
become a full-time influencer.
Okay, that's pretty good. Okay. I hope you had like a second job on the side so that you wouldn't have to just like completely give it all up.
Even my first job where
Never mind. Okay. Why? You look, madam, you look like you could be like early mid 20s, maybe. Why is influencing your first ever job? And also, why do you have it written down right there in like little closed captions that you made 100K?
I was so happy. Not only was I happy from, making money, but
yes,
also
okay,
being able to turn my creativity into a career. Until
that's good.
Income took a nosedive.
Now look, I'm gonna ask this question with so much like sincerity. What the fuck did you do with $100,000 in a year? What were you buying? What were you spending that money on? Why were you spending it on that at all? Because if you give me the opportunity to make $100,000 off of content creation, I'm investing, I'm saving, I'm spending less, and I'm making sure that I save more. But you know what? That's just me.
I went from making 100K to making less than the poverty rate. At first, I wasn't worried. Like, it was
You know what? Madam, if you make 100K and then you take a nosedive, you need to start worrying. You need to worry as soon as you recognize you get 100K and then you don't get 100K, because that's going to be your significant moment to understand, yep, everything about to take a significant fucking dip. And it would behoove you to, manage your money if you start seeing it dip past a certain point.
January, which is a normal slow month for the industry. So I just went about making content per usual. The worries started settling in March of 2024 when I had received 0 jobs, which is not normal. Usually around February, March is when everything starts picking up between Valentine's Day and springtime collections coming out. By
Big advertisements.
April, it became real that I was going to have to find a full-time job. I could give you.
And did you? I don't. You said this all started last year. It's 2025. So did you? And are you going to tell me that this was your reasoning to try to reach out to anyone who wants to be a content creator, that while it may seem good, it would behoove everybody to, you know, have like a job that they could fall back on? Yes.
Millions of reasons of why this happened, between DEI programs being taken out of a lot of companies, being supportive of Palestine, and being yelled at by marketing girls from Chanel telling me, what about the hostages? Different factors that could have played a part. But at the end of the day, this is where I am right now.
Wow.
Who in their right fucking mind gives a shit that DEI programs are being taken away? I'm speaking as someone who doesn't know who the fuck you are. Whatever you were doing to see your money start dipping down from 100K to below the fucking poverty line is something you have to navigate. You are probably somebody, if I were to find your account, is probably somebody who does a little bit of fashion content, maybe some makeup content, maybe some hair content, something along those lines. And you are probably somebody who had brands reach out to you in order to pay you and work with you. And you thought, all right, we just living lavishly. We living at a time where you could just sit back, relax, and the brands are going to come to you. Eventually, you're going to have to start going towards the brands. You're going to have to start selling yourself and hoping that these people buy into you and the things that you got going on. When you sit there and you try to make it out to be, oh man, these people aren't reaching out as much as they used to, it's time for you to lock in and be all about this, because like you said, it's your first job. You was able to let your creativity shine and get 100K off of that. And again, I'm asking, what the fuck did you do with that money to the fucking point where you below the poverty line? You need to start taking all your creativity, your portfolio of what you've done and how you've done it and what's your pay rate, and bring it to these brands so that they can work with you or deny you at the front fucking door. Because as much as a lot of people make content creation look like the most lavish thing under the sun, I promise you it ain't. And if you right now are working, I don't care where you work as a fucking restaurant worker, you doing Uber, you are working at Walmart, McDonald's, any of that, these are more lucrative than doing content creation full time, full stop. Any motherfucker trying to sell you on this shit by saying, hey, spend $10 on my course is trying to get money out of you because they running out of fucking money. And it's sad watching these motherfuckers try this fucking hard to make themselves to be so sympathetic when in reality, they're stupid and they don't know how to save their fucking money. What? And the video's not done. What else?
Very behind. And I am.
Why is your rent behind? Skill issue. Pay your rent.
So shit has gotten so real. I'm a little scared, a lot of scared. I'm really scared, guys. It just sucks, you know? Like, I was so happy to make something that I'm really passionate about a full-time career. Now I'm up for possibly being homeless. Oh, that's crazy to say.
It's not crazy to say, because I'm going to take a guess. You were not saving your money. You weren't. You could have stockpiled that 100K. That way you could coast for a full opportunity of a year lease. You could have took a nice portion of that 100K, go to the leasing office and say, hey, I want to pay out the rest of my rent for this lease. And maybe based on calculations, if they allow you, next year's lease, because I want to stay in this area. And you could have been sitting comfortably for maybe a full year, half a year, 2 years, depending on your lease. But no, I'm almost certain you spent it on nice food, little luxury clothing, little things to benefit yourself in the short term, but in the long term, none of that shit matter if you ain't got a fucking roof over your head.
But just wanted to tell my story. If you guys want to support, you can. I will put my GoFundMe link in my profile.
Get a motherfucking job. And look, when I do these things, I understand that there's a collection of people who get very upset at me because I do content and I should feel sympathetic towards individuals like this. The difference between me and this person who immediately goes the GoFundMe route, the guy who sat there and said, you're taking money from me and it's financial abuse, from the people who think that 9 to 5s aren't as difficult as sitting in a fucking chair, the difference between me and them is that I am not a full-time content creator. I know I make it look like I am, but I'm not. I got things I want to do in my life. I got things that I do in my life, and I make money doing them things. Why? Because I understand the world works, and it works the only way possible, with money. And if you ain't got money, guess what? You're really not going to see too much opportunity. So it would behoove anybody. I've said this numerous fucking times, and I'm going to say it again. Do not stop your entire life to be a content creator. Go ahead and get that warehouse job. Go ahead and get that desk job. Go ahead and get that fucking job at McDonald's. It ain't nothing. It don't make you look bad. It don't make you look worthless. The job market is very fucking shit right now. So it would benefit a lot of people to find any job and try their best and save their money as much as they can. You can have side hustles. You can. But better than all, on a fucking content creation is the stupidest thing you could possibly fucking do. But don't take my word for it. Take the word of this motherfucker who did it all, I guess, the wrong way. And now they sitting here wondering where the fuck the money gonna come from now. And that's all I really got. Subscribe to
his channel. It's Ruin Leon. Right there. He's pretty good. You see, he got 293K subscribers, and as you can see, his view count just keeps going up and up and up. He's a pretty good dude. I really like his channel, but the whole point, what's going on, blood boiling, jibber jabber, solving politics. Did I forget anybody else? Audric, Lion, 917. At any rate, the whole point as far as playing his video is out of giving me enough time to get stuff together. Is that, remember last night we were talking about, we were pretty much closing out the show with one of the biggest problems that we suffer as Black people is a lack of financial literacy. Outside of paying our bills, grocery, getting gas for the car, whatnot, something to eat, something to drink, things like that, small entertainments. Like, we don't really invest our coins. We don't invest our coins. This chick was making 100K a year, and she's single. What do you think she did with that money?
Splurge. Shopping sprees.
What'd you say, Lewis?
Splurge.
Yeah, she splurged. She's single. She ain't got no kids. Did you hear her talk about kids? You hear her mention the boyfriend? Jibber Jabber said sushi. Yeah, and you're right. He said, solving politics, he said, Democrats have made a fortune for their political leadership, telling us how horrible the lives of Blacks are, right? And their educational system that they put forth, it doesn't help anybody. The only thing it does is teaches us how to read, write, and count at an 8th grade level. We're functioning illiterates in this society, especially those of us who went to public school. You're a functioning illiterate. Not everybody now. There's always the curve. They're the kids in the back of the class that are always cutting the food. They're the kids in the middle. They usually grade out between a D and a B student, and the kids who sit up front who normally grade out as A's and B's. What's going on, AL? What's going on, AL?
Oh, what's going on?
That's AB.
What's good, gentlemen? What's good?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Louis, you ain't seen him come up because this thing is blocking him.
Happy days are here, man. Joy Reid is gone. I'm happy. Happier than a sissy with a bag of dicks in church on first Sunday looking for brand new religion, I tell you.
Oh, my goodness.
It don't get no happier than that.
Must be Easter. Must be Easter. All right, come on. Let's watch the language.
I will.
Watch. But the whole point of it is that, as I was saying last night, and this mainly applies to single people, okay, is that when they make more money than they're normally used to making, like let's say like you're making about 70K a year, all right, what happens is that they will top out their rent will top out their first check, because they'll live up to that check as far as their rent or mortgage or whatever. And then, of course, after that first check comes, there's no money hardly even left because they spent it on rent. And then they can't wait until the second check, which is usually the utility, car note, insurance, or whatever type of check they get. And then you pay your bills with that. And then usually by like the last week of the month, they're eating ramen noodles, Top Ramen. Somebody made a joke yesterday, hey, don't knock Top Ramen. But
I mean, put some ranch in it. Yeah, there's ways to dark it up.
Right. Yeah, don't knock Top Ramen. That's cool. There's Charles. Come on in here. I don't know whose thing you're on. Everybody drop the link. I don't know where Charles, whose link Charles is on, but throw him on there.
Yeah, I already dropped
the He's good in there.
I already dropped the link.
Okay. Yeah, everybody dropped
hold
the
on, wait a
link.
minute. Oh yeah, that's the link. Okay.
All right. But you know, the exception is, of course, if you have other mouths to feed, then you will at least top it out to where everybody can at least live comfortably based on the income that's provided. Oh, we got Charles in here. What's going on, Charles?
Woo!
Oh, let me get you.
Woo!
What do you think? Oh, here we go. All right.
That was a great intro. Oh my
yes,
God.
it is.
I wonder who made that. Wow, that was beautiful.
Whoever made that need 12 whoopings.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Lewis.
Can I ask you, gentlemen, a quick question?
Sure.
Who is this hideous individual that's in this screen that I'm looking at, looking like a Paul Brook version of what's her name? Davis, the actress. What's her name? She looked like her.
Viola.
Yeah, she looked like a cheap, broke version of Viola Davis. Yes.
She is an internet / influencer who made a lot of money early on in her career, but then she was making like $100K, and now she's not making hardly anything, and now she's begging for donations for rent money.
What was she influenced? Ugliness?
She was selling female products like purses and all of that stuff.
Shit.
But she blew through the money. She blew through the money.
Don't they always?
And this is what we're talking about. Like, you know, it's like, I'll never forget when I first started working at this one job. And it was me, 2 other black dudes, and a white guy. Young white guy. He was in college. And his father is a stockbroker. And his father is wealthy. Like, the only reason why his son was working with us because his father told him, you're not going to live off of my money while you're in college. Go get a job. Like, I'll pay your rent, but go get a job. You know, feed yourself, pay your own utilities, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I said to him one day, I said, hey, let's open up, you know, a stock club. Let's do an investment deal. Let's put our money to use. Because these guys were always talking about taking the trip to Florida every year. Oh, yeah, you know, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, okay, if you got money to go on vacation, then you got money to buy some stocks. Because the job previous, when I had another job a couple years ago, but before then, where you had stockbrokers that lived or operated on the floors like 20 and above. All right. And I've been in their offices and them dudes be sitting at the computers like intense, making deals. They on the phone, making trades and everything. I mean, they're doing some real stuff. And I'm like, and I asked the one guy, I said, is this all you do? He was like, yeah. And I know that where he was living upstairs, the Four Seasons, those of you who live in Atlanta, they were living in the Four Seasons. That is not a cheap apartment. You know, you're talking about thousands of dollars a month. And this guy had a family and they were doing well. So I didn't think nothing of it because we were doing good with the store. But when I moved to Ohio, I needed to make my own money. So I approached them with that. And them guys looked at me and laughed. Not the white guy, though. The white guy was looking at me like, are you serious? But the other two, the brothers, they looked at me and laughed. They're like, man, we ain't doing that stuff. And I'm like, okay. But you killing yourself working 2 full jobs just to survive. You killing yourself saving your money just so you can go fishing in Florida. Then you come back home, you got a belly full of fish, you got pictures, you got memories, but you ain't got no money. You coming back to your apartment or your mama's house. You're in your 30s, 30s and 40s. Don't you think you need to improve on that? Instead of taking the money and throwing it on the fishing trip, why don't you throw it on some stocks? Hello? I'm passing the mic. What do y'all think about that?
Well, one, unfortunately, in our culture, you're not brought up into that. Other cultures, they are. And we come at the tail end of things. And that's a reason why a lot of us in our community that we're like lagging behind, because we come into the real important things later on down the line. We focus more on things that make us feel good. Instantaneous, what's the instantaneous gratification?
Yes. Jibber Jabber said that type doesn't carry a bank account and uses check cashing outfits because they don't trust the banks. You passing the mic, Lewis?
Yes, sir.
AB?
Well, unfortunately, like Lewis said, with our culture, not everybody's taught to invest or to even just start a business, simply start a business and, do for self. We're taught, go get a good job. Go college, get a good job. And everything will be just peaches and cream. Not anymore.
And then we end up complaining that other people are coming in our neighborhoods sucking out the resources.
Yep.
But on the flip side of that, as in the wise words of David Carroll, the white man's ice is so much colder. If there is a black-owned establishment, we will want to hook up.
Yeah,
but yet we'll pay everybody else full price with a smile on our face.
Mm-hmm. You asked for a hookup when you go into that nail shop, Chinese nail shop. Oops.
You overseas trying to steal the service.
Wait, I'm sorry. I apologize. Do you go ask for a hookup at that Chinese nail shop after they whooped your behind? Oops.
No, we overseas trying to steal the service. Overseas trying to steal the service and then trying to board the flight out of the country with masks on, and they catch us right before we get on the plane. Turn you right back around.
Okay.
AL?
I listened, I heard, I understand where you were coming from, but I feel nothing. Why? Like all you gentlemen just said. You said it in a nutshell, so why should I feel anything? I don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Charles? Are you there?
Charles,
it's me, Margaret.
Are you there? Charles, it's me, Margaret. Are you there?
Telegram for Mongo. Telegram for Mongo.
All right, so Jibber Jabber says, number one, we don't practice group economics. Number two, we're quick to find fault with the black establishment.
True. Well, there's some fault with the black establishment, but that's another story.
Let me tell you something. I went to the VA today.
Mm-hmm.
Those of you who are veterans, you've been to the VA, you know how it is. It's hit or miss. But here in Atlanta, our VA, the saying is, Well, it's the VA, because you got a lot of apathetic, lazy people that work there. I'm there today, and I'm gonna report this chick. I'm not even gonna lie, because she violated HIPAA by having my father say his whole social security number and his name out loud with the doors open, with a whole bunch of people sitting out in the waiting room, because she didn't want to
violation of HIPAA. That's a violation.
Please report her. Please report her. It's your civic duty to.
Yeah, I had to think about it, and I was like, no, because I think the final straw of it was because she didn't want to scan his card. She wanted me to read the card, and I looked at her. I was like, I don't have my glasses, so I'm trying to hand her the card. She didn't even want to touch it, even with gloves on. That's when she made him. She asked him for his social security number, and he said it out loud, and his name, and his date of birth. And then she wanted me to move the wheelchair out the way so she could get to draw his blood. But if she would have got her fat self up and walked over to him, the wheelchair wouldn't have been in the way. Instead, she on the rolling chair, and she rolling the chair.
That required her to use calories, and she was not going to do that, sir. Sorry.
I know. So, and I'm trying not to have a Negro moment, because I was hot. I just had to stare off into space outside of the room. I couldn't even look at her because I was so angry. But that's the VA. But I'm definitely gonna report her as I think about it. Yeah, she was a very lazy broad. But I mean, it's like we kind of, let's just be honest. You talk about black establishments. You say we're quick to find fault with the black establishment. But the thing is that the black establishment has faults that other establishments don't, because they don't take your business seriously. Not all of them, but the ones that do, they don't take their business seriously. And those are the ones that normally fail. And then they want to turn around and blame racism, or think that, black people owe them their money simply because they're black and they exist. Like, no, you have to put in that work.
Whoo! I'm back, folks. I had to take care of something.
Well, how was she?
Not yet.
Don't answer that.
But I was like, what was the question? Because I was doing something and I heard it.
The question was about financial literacy. Do you think that that's one of the number one problems that's holding us back?
That's the number one problem that holds us back. Racism doesn't mean a dang if you could buy. You could be racist, but if you're racist and I have enough money to buy you out of something, that becomes mine, right?
Right.
Or if I'm in a racist part of town and I want to buy a house and leave that part of town, I can escape it, right?
Right.
What's one of the reasons why black people are on the bottom?
Lack of ownership.
You don't own shit. Why is it? And here's the thing. I'm going to ask this question I asked on my live stream a minute ago.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Who owns the purse strings of the black community?
Black women.
As far as households with children, black women.
And what do black women not teach their children? Financial literacy.
Shit, hell, before you say financial literacy, you have to say literacy. They don't teach them literacy. So hey, you can't jump, you can't put the cart before the horse, sir. You have to stick to the sticking point, like I've always been saying, and I'll continue to scream it. Our first teachers are who? Our mothers. And what have they been derelict of? Teaching us literacy, period. They run from it, but they're the most educated. That's the most insulting part. Now, they are the most educated, so they say, but you're not teaching them literacy, and you're literally, and it was 2024, and you're still pulling this shit, and oh boy, what told y'all to get off the door, back when, and get these education I'm giving you, so you got educated, and you still pulling this shit? No excuses, none whatsoever.
And I'm going to say this. One of the biggest things on top of that, how many times do black men are not hired for certain jobs because of stuff like DEI, where it's a white woman, or in case of a double minority, a black woman. Or don't let her be a gay black woman because now she's a triple minority.
The trifecta.
Oh, the trifecta. So when you constantly teach bad habits to your children, they grow up to marinate those bad habits as adults. We perfect mediocrity.
Don't talk about Black China like that. Oh, let me shut up.
We perfect mediocrity and obsolescence. So much so that when somebody makes it, we hate them. When somebody actually does well, we're jealous of them or we hate them. Oh, they think they all that. And you say to yourself, the fuck is wrong with you?
Don't talk about Kevin like that.
We just we're sick of the head, man.
You see what
No, I disagree. We're right where they planned us to be.
True.
You see what Jibba Jabba said? Granddad dies. They sell the house. They get to arguing over it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
That is true.
That's true in a lot of aspects.
If we
that's
didn't get the grandma, yeah.
Yeah, especially if even if grandma's there, they'll eventually pull grandma out of the house to come live with them, and then they'll sell the house.
Mm-hmm.
And then the house for pennies on the dollar.
Think about it. That's why you have no legacy. There's no family home that you can still hold claim to. Because look at it. Especially if you have a lot of sisters in your family. Oh my God. Even in my family, we're going through that shit now. When one of my aunts passed, and my other aunt burned through her money, trying to sell everything, forged papers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, is it worth possibly going to federal jail? It's shameful. And I look at this and I'm saying to myself, you were willing to give your money to the church and fuck Jamal Bryant because he's from my city.
Oh, this will be a very interesting video I'm gonna play, but go ahead.
Oh, you mean the blasphemer? Go ahead.
Oh, you talk about the guy who wants to criticize black men, but yet you have your wife and your 3 mistresses sitting on the front pew.
There's only 3? I'm just saying.
Well, he's trying to cut down, the recession. He cut down. Normally it's about 7 to 15. He's trying to.
I was about to say there's only 3, really?
Trying to save that money,
Ain't no peanuts up there, is it?
The Lord's money.
Shoot, he got one of his parishioners out there doing DoorDash in a Bentley. Uber XL.
I mean, what is he? A step up or a step below Creflo Dollar?
Oh, he definitely is 5 steps below Creflo. Ain't nobody getting Creflo. Creflo got Negroes buying him jets so he can go and fleece Africa.
I mean, that's so funny. Like, I'm sorry, nobody ever questioned like a Negro named Dollar.
Creflo, come on.
C-Flow, $1. Remember he was him and the other pastor was dancing on the money. Oh, hold on, I gotta find it because I do want to do the Jamal Bryant, but hold on, I got to do this. This was, I mean, we're done messing with preachers, but because we don't care. But this was hilarious. Let me see. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead, y'all. Keep yucking.
Need that dollar.
Hold on.
My man had a whole praise break over $1.
I have it.
I couldn't help myself with this picture right here.
I couldn't. Oh man, I can't find it. I'm not gonna worry about
I
it.
got
It's
it
okay.
right there.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah,
Where you at?
right here. I put it in the chat.
Oh, okay. I can't.
I'm gonna put it in the back chat. All right.
There you go. There you go. Put in the back chat.
Mm-hmm. And just share to it, yeah.
Yo, say the entire front pew of his wife named Taffy. Taffy Tuck.
All right, now hit it.
All right, there we go.
Hey, while we're waiting, hey, Louis.
Yo.
I can't believe I'm doing this on air, but I have to shout out Dr. Julio.
Nothing for you. What has happened to the gospel of grace?
Oh, no,
These charlatans have turned it into a gospel of works, and they have put people, have they put people under bondage. This is one of the most disturbing things you might ever see.
I be out walk on this money. Woo! 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 Get some anointing. You put some up here. Woo! Woo! Put some money. Put some anointing on this money. You put something up here. You put. Woo! Prosper. Prosper, I said. Woo!
Credible, like, I gotta give you some of this. Like, you getting away with this? They like you do this in your church? Well, hell.
They used to throw you out of church for that shit.
Tell you wrong, babe. Creflo's up there really pissed.
Hold on.
He's
hold on.
You want your bills paid?
No,
Throw
no.
money at their feet so they can dance in it.
Creflo
What
is
do you
pissed
know?
because that
It's a
man was out
prosperity
there doing
gospel with a string attached.
What's that?
All right, look, all of y'all
I
that's
see.
watching out there, if y'all want anointings, hit the super chat and the cash app, and you will be blessed.
Mm-hmm.
And if you send a
Yeah.
super chat,
glad
they
you
will
said that.
send you some anointed oil. And if you spend over $100,
Boy.
you
Boy.
get a blessed blanket
Boy.
with cotton from
No.
Israel.
If you
Like-
send it, super chat $1,000 or more, you get this blessed cloth.
Oh my
This
God.
blessed cloth. I'll send this to you. Here, look, it's been blessed by my anointed special oils. Ooh, special oils. $1,000 super chat, and you get it. And put
Like
me
I
up,
was
no
saying,
news.
like I was saying, Creflo is pissed. He's over there looking at. I'm watching this boy straight out do me. He dancing on money.
Pimp.
He's dancing on money. Oh no, I'm gonna have to outdo that.
Hey, Bay.
Hold on a second. Come on up, no news. Come on up. I dropped the link. Everybody dropped the link. Don't tell them where he hiding. So what were you saying about to say, Lewis?
Put my thing up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Put my screen up.
Hold on. Okay, there you go.
If you send $5, I will get a cotton ball and soak it with this Woodford Reserve and mail it to you. Since you know us in the black manosphere, we're scammers and everything. So
Right. We are?
You know that's what they say. So
Well, I've been doing it wrong.
And this segment is brought to you by Woodford Reserve. I need to pay me.
By the
I
way,
need a
it's also brought to
sponsorship.
you by Joy Reid's Tears.
Joy Reid's Tears. So what's going on?
Equals we don't give a damn.
Hold on, y'all. What's going on? No news. How you doing? Welcome to the group.
Oh, nothing much, brother. I happened to see you live, and I forgot we had talked earlier. I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna try to stop by, and I'm at home right now."
Let me see that
Wait a
picture.
minute. Wait a minute. That's not Joy Reese. I thought that was E.T. with a facelift.
Oh Lord.
You ain't shit for that, Charles.
Damn.
All right. Nazi, we got Mosh in the house. What's up, Mosh?
What's up? What's shaking?
You back from the store?
I've been back. Yeah. Man, I just had to hop in that water. But I was like, let me jump in for a second. I got to get up early, but I had to chime in with y'all for a sec. But hey, since y'all selling scammer stuff, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you gotta say it with the how the old dude used to be speaking in tongues when he used to sell that prayer cloth.
We're gonna say it speaking in tongues in the ancient language of boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka, boom.
Good Lord.
All this money on the ground, we're gonna bless it.
Speaking of preachers, since we're now there, so Pastor Jamal Bryant had something to say about Black Republicans. Y'all want to hear it?
Yeah.
Sure, why not? It ain't gonna be nothing but a bunch of horse shit, but come on.
That nigga's a bald head rock.
For them coons in the White House who are in there tap dancing for massa, wearing bow ties, shinning and grinding, laughing like nothing is funny. I ain't afraid of the spooks that sat at the door. These runaway slaves hiding in the White House gonna throw my picture up thinking that I'm gonna be afraid.
Okay, first and foremost, let me say this about, I want to get this out the way about coons, because this is the whole point of this stream. We as Black people are not a monolith. We are not a monolith. We do not all think alike. We do not all vote alike. We don't dress the same. We don't eat the same. We don't date the same. We are various shades of gray, just like our various skin colors. Now, you can be a Republican or a conservative and not be a coon, just like you can be a Democrat, progressive, and not be a coon. But if you are somebody who puts white people above your own, or any other group above your own, be you a conservative or progressive, that's where you lose out. That's where you become a coon. Now, on the Republican side, when you are using literal, and I mean literal, white supremacist talking points, all right, you have lost your way. Sort of like some of these people who have been conservative for a long time,
Jason Whitlock,
online, just like people who are Democrats who for some reason you put the Democratic Party over your own people. You think that, and this is what kills me.
Martin, go ahead.
This is what kills me. The Democratic Party has been the party of racists forever. They have been the party of racists forever. It's the Democratic Party that wanted to keep you in chattel slavery. It's the Democratic Party that didn't want you to vote. It's the Democratic Party that didn't want to integrate the schools. It's the Democratic Party that didn't even want integration in the first place until they figured out a way to make it work for them. It's the Democratic Party that didn't want affirmative action and then eventually took it away from you. And then it's the Democratic Party that turned welfare into a weapon that has kept Black people in financial and psychological
ruin
bondage ever since the Home Act was incepted. What you got there? Toms, coons, mulattoes, mammies, and bucks. Who wrote that?
Donald Bogle.
All right.
And
now,
can I say something to add on to you? What you're saying? Can I build for a second?
Yes, go ahead. I've said what I had to say. I'm passing the mic to you.
What do you call when everybody follows lockstep and you ostracize them when they have their own free thought? That's called a cult. That's the tactic that cults use. And don't wait. And to Roland Martin's defense, he get paid to say what he says. At least he's getting the bag from it.
But he's still a tap dancing coon. We saw him with Hillary.
He's a paid coon. He's getting paid by the Democratic Party. At least he's getting a bag out of it. If you're going to coon, At least get some money out of it.
Mhm.
Others just follow it like, oh my God, I can't. What they're saying is right. I cannot think for myself.
Quick
And
pause. Hold on, quick pause. No news. If you want to stream this with your audience, you can. I don't mind. You want to shout out yourself? I don't care.
No, appreciate that.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
All right, go
and
ahead. I'm sorry, Lord. Go ahead.
put the link to your channel in.
Yeah, go. Yeah, do all that. Do all the promotion stuff you want to do. We're not on that time right now. We not them type of dudes.
Hoorah!
we not haters over here. So do what you got to do. We have no problems with it. You are welcome. All are welcome here. As long as y'all can be civil, you're good. Oh, and if you curse, there's a $1 charge to Snow Aid. But anyway, go ahead, Lewis. I'm sorry. I just wanted to get everything out the way. Go ahead.
The suckers is the ones that follow that and don't think. You know, like, let's be for real. Roland, who else is Joy Reid, all of them. At least they were getting paid to do what they, they got their marching orders.
Yeah.
To, get the suckers to follow in. I relinquished the mic. I said what I had to say.
All right. Before you go, AB. Abuki asked, did those Democrats switch parties after the Civil Rights Act was signed by Lyndon Baines Johnson?
Combination.
I would say that you had Democrats, they switched their strategy. They switched their strategy to the point where the whole thing was that they already knew what the plan was. This is why they sent Gloria Steinem in to capture the hearts and minds of Black women, along with her army, because they distracted the Black men by giving them all the white coochie they could handle. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, they were brainwashing Black women that their fight, the white fight, was also the Black females' fight, which it wasn't. So white females have always been playing that they were a friend to white women, to Black women, as they indoctrinated them with the white lesbian, feminist, man-hating feminist ideology, while they turned around and went home to their white husbands and boyfriends. Who just dropped? Oh, that must have been what's the name? So okay. So yeah, there's the answer. I hope that answers your question. Go ahead, AB.
Come back to me.
All right. AL, you want to go or you want to pass it to Charles?
Passing the mic.
All right, Charles.
I just see, this is the thing about a coon versus anything else. At least a coon's smart enough to get paid. A lot of you Negroes out there were so sad about Kamala Harris, who openly said, I ain't doing a sugar honey iced tea for you, who is trying to be hell-bent on continuing to start World War III. But yet, a lot of Negroes learned the ancient art of cooning for free. And when you coon for these political parties, guess what? Just because you coon for a political party, it does not mean the betterment of your people. Never have, never will. You look at what happens now, especially with the Democratic Party. You've been anti-men, especially anti-Black man, for so long. Trump's gotten more Black male votes, hell, probably more Black votes for a Republican in the last 60 years than anybody else as a president.
And it's all because of you, Black women. Thank you. You did. Always running your mouth. Can't be told who go check you. Can't nobody tell you nothing. So that's your reward. This is your reward.
want you to look at that church, right? Look at it. Look at the congregation. Where do you see black men? Where do you see black men? You see a bunch of single women in this
any man worth his salt who has a inkling of brain thought or matter in his head, who has been raised and reared in the church, understands by the time he turns 12 or 13, it's time for him to break camp. It's not meant for him. He looks around and what does he see? A congregation full of hens with chitlins underneath their arms and titties and wooing and gawking and hollering at one fucking hen. One fucking rooster up there gawking and going on and shutting them out of everything. Okay, well, put it on my tab. But it's the truth. It's the truth. It's not the words. It's the truth. And if you're afraid of the truth, don't use the words. The words I use are truth. If there's no lies being spoken.
He's just saying about the cursing.
Yeah, but
that's the only part.
Anyway,
you gotta look at.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Everybody's jumping the line. It's no news.
Okay.
Turn to respond. Y'all jumping the line. Go ahead, no news.
Hey, give me the question once again.
We were talking about the level of coons and how the Democratic Party has really created coons, all right, through financial and mental slavery.
Right. And my problem with the Democratic Party has always been is that they've been clever about hiding the history and who they really are. So you got a lot of people out here still caping for them. And all it took was 10% of us to overthrow them in this last election. So I'm hoping that going forward that a lot of people really start paying attention and knowing that these folks don't have our best interests in mind. They've been at every turn to stifle us in our progression, to make us dependent upon them so that we continue to vote, as Lyndon B said, for the next 200 years. And that's been my whole issue with the whole party. And those of us who voted for Trump this time around, we got called coons for trying to look out for everybody's best interests, even taking into account all the financial implications of continuing down this path. Yeah, that's all I got right now. But
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Okay, free chat. AL, you were saying, and I'm not trying to yell at you, AL. I don't want them to.
I know you're not, babe. I know you're not. I know where you're coming from. But yet and still, guess what? At the end of the day, whether they like it or not, it's still free speech. So guess what?
You fine. I just don't want nobody to lose. Get their their money messed up, because some of us are. I'm not, but some of us are monetized, trying to get monetized. And I still don't know the real reason why they killed my original channel, which killed all my other channels. So I'm just trying to be safe.
I hear you.
Okay.
But to old boy's point, he was absolutely correct. LBJ, when LBJ told him, I can fool you this way to get what I want that way. But guess what? They still gonna be gullible enough to ride with it. Shit, why not do it? And he did it. And guess what? To the dismay, he helped us. But look how he helped us. This is fool's gold. Are you gonna take it? Yeah, we gonna take it. We don't take it. We don't care. And we gonna talk bad about you for 60 years while we doing it. So when the chickens finally came home to roost, like he said, it wasn't 10%. It was damn near 17% of us that reached out in masses as black men, black people, black constituents, crossing party lines to do what needed to be done. And it was a referendum. We were tired of the bull crap, the BS. Rather, we were sick and tired of it, and now the chickens have came on the roost and they looking. Oh, they killing DEI. They fleecing the reserve. They checking everything. They holding us accountable. That's right. Because not only has this been going on in the Democratic administrations, this was also going on in the Republican administrations. And it was time for somebody to come in and clean house.
Yeah.
And so he's cleaning house. And now everybody's upset. No, I feel nothing.
Yep. Yeah, but what I was going to say is, if you're going to coon, at least get paid doing it. Don't do it for free. A lot of people do it for free. And as far as Roly Poly goes, he does it for chump change. But yeah, if
but AB, you got to give Roly Poly credit. At least he will get upset, panda, and complain. Well, I got the low end of the stick, but I did get some of the stick. But I don't like the fact I got the low end of the stick. But Negro, you got some of the stick. You got some piece of that grease, that fat meat grease on your stick. You can lick off of it. What you crying for?
True, that's true.
You say some liberals and Keisha probably mass reported your original channel. I doubt it because my original channel, I posted nothing on it. The only thing I posted was a couple of TikToks every now and then, but I really didn't post anything on it. You say Stacey Abrams was cooning, however, she's about to take a fall for $2 billion. Oh yeah. So let's get into what Black leadership has to say. All right, to us. Let's get into what they have to say to us. Because in all honesty, let's be honest, with everything that's going on, you have to be crazy to not think that Cash Patel and Pam Bondi, through the orders of Donald Trump, are going to start prosecuting these people. So let's get to it.
Appropriate that we are out here in the bitter cold.
So what?
Because the federal workers of this country, their families, and the people in the communities they serve have been left in the cold. When these dedicated, compassionate federal workers could have taken their talents anywhere else, they chose to serve this country.
That's not true.
And instead of being met with gratitude, with dignity, with visibility, and with humanity, they were met with threatening emails from Doge Bros and callous pink slips. And these federal workers are so dedicated that in my conversations with them, their first concern was not their own livelihood, was not their ability to provide for their families, but what of their unfinished work? This rich, entitled billionaire that is Elon Musk has his...
Wait, what's her name again?
Ayanna Presley.
Ayanna Presley. Okay, I'll let her continue.
Grubby hands on your Mima granddad's Social Security check. He's got his greedy paws in the cookie jar. He thinks that he can just break shit and move fast, like we're some startup that he can fail and start over. Or like the pieces of his trashy Cybertruck that he can just dismantle and sell off. But we are the American people. And this is our country. And this is our democracy. And we're here to say to Elon Musk, to Donald Trump, hands off! Hands off our bodies! Hands off our data! Hands off our democracy! Hands off our Constitution! Hands off our federal jobs! We are here to stand up until they stand down
What's up, DeCarlo?
and take their foot off the necks of working people.
Long ago. So
hey, put up my camera.
How much do you think? Where are you? Oh, here you go. How much do you think? How much do you think how much you think she's worth? How much y'all think she's worth?
No clue. Tell us. No clue.
Double-digit millions, tens of millions.
Ayanna Presley is worth, according to her 2023 financial disclosure report, Ayanna Presley's net worth is between $6.51 million and $140,000. The wide margin is due to the financial report's valuation range for high-value assets and liabilities. In 2018, Open Secrets estimated her total wealth was at $12,500.
She broke.
She probably hiding her money good.
Yeah, on paper.
So she's got a residential rental property in Mattapan, Massachusetts, valued at anywhere between $500,000 and $1 million. A second rental property in Boston, Massachusetts, valued between $500,000 and $1 million. And another residential property in Boston, valued between $250,000 and $500,000. Mortgage and personal residence, Norfolk Capital, valued between $1 million and $5 million. Mortgage on the primary residence and rental unit within the same building, valued between $500,000 and $1 million. And mortgage on a rental property, Bluestone Bank, valued between $500,000 and $1 million. Insider trading involvement. Let's see. The progressive politician has never been accused of insider trading, as she does not own or trade individual stocks. So her net worth, which is below zero, well, then where's the money coming from?
I was just gonna add, you got 3 properties, but you only showing you make $12,500 a year. That don't add up. That don't make sense. Somebody help me make sense of that, please.
Well,
to be a representative, you're making $240,000 a year.
Yeah, at a matter of fact, it's less than that. Old dude who just retired. Who is that? The turtle dude. You know what I'm talking about? The turtle dude.
Mitch McConnell.
Right. He was making $197,000. So her annual salary, here it is. Her annual salary is $174,000.
Well, hell, we just did one on Jasmine Crockett, AB show, but she's worth what, $7 million or something, but she only makes $100-something thousand.
Yeah.
You see, this shit is not adding up. These people are doing some nefarious ass shit. You can't tell me these goddamn politicians ain't. You supposed to be living off your salary.
Oh, did he drop? Oh, there you go. Yeah. Mr. No News, you can talk. You can jump in. I get it. You want to do that. And who's got the night bot? Saul T-Balls? Who's the night botter? Oh, Snowman. Okay. That's Snowman. Yeah, I guess. Or I don't know who the hell that is. All right. So at any rate.
No, my bad. That's me right there. Let me turn them off.
Okay. I'm like, where's this coming from? So another menopause age brawl stumping for reproductive rights. Now you heard what she said, right? She was talking about they're fighting for the rights of these government employees who, by the way, are getting buyout. Number one, the latest thing they all had to do was just reply to an email as to what they did that week, and it decided whether you kept your job or not. The people that Trump offered the 7-month buyout package and possibly a $5,000 check. I'm sorry. Am I supposed to feel sorry for these people? But where were you when this was going on?
The first on energy. When is it that the Biden administration is going to let the thousands of fossil fuel industry workers, whether it's pipeline workers or construction workers, who are either out of work or will soon be out of work because of a Biden EO, when it is and where it is that they can go for their green job? And that is something the administration has promised. There is now a gap. So I'm just curious when that happens, when those people can count on that.
Well, I'd certainly welcome you to present your data of all the thousands and thousands of people
What's up, Mr. O?
who won't be getting a green job. Maybe next time you're here, you can present that.
But you said that they would be getting green jobs, so I'm just asking when that happens. Richard Trumka, who is a friend, longtime friend of Joe Biden, says about that day one Keystone EO, he says, I wish he, the president, had paired that more carefully with the thing that he did second by saying, here's where we are creating the jobs. So there's partial evidence from Richard Trumka.
Well, you didn't include all of his interview. Would you like to include the rest?
So how about this? The Laborers International Union of North America said the Keystone decision will cost 1,000 existing union jobs and 10,000 projected construction jobs.
Well, what Mr. Trump also indicated in the same interview was that President Biden has proposed a climate plan with transformative investments in infrastructure and laid out a plan that will not only create millions of good union jobs, but also help tackle the climate crisis. And as the president has indicated when he gave his primetime address to talk about the American Rescue Plan, he talked about his plans to also put forward a jobs plan in the weeks or months following, and he has every plan to do exactly that.
But there are people living paycheck to paycheck. There are now people out of jobs once the Keystone Pipeline stopped construction. It's been 12 days since Gina McCarthy and John Kerry were here, and it's been 19 days since that EO. So what are these people who need money now? When do they get their green job?
Well, the president and many Democrats and Republicans in Congress believe that investment in infrastructure, building infrastructure that's in our national interests and that boosts the U.S. economy, creates good-paying union jobs here in America, and advances our climate and clean energy goals are something that we can certainly work on doing together. And he has every plan to share more about his details of that plan in the weeks ahead.
They didn't give him nothing.
That was a whole bunch of bullshit. Excuse me.
No,
like this. That was a whole bunch of beers.
But yeah, they didn't get him nothing. I just want to say, where was Ayanna Pressley when these people lost their jobs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, told them, from coal mines to coding. What's going on, Ray Hammer? All right, so let's get into one of the biggest race hustlers that we got going, the new race hustler, which is Jasmine Ratchet Crockett, who y'all know is going to jail. I can't wait to see her perk walk as she sat up there and lied about how she made her money. Let's get into this. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go.
Like, and we know, like, this isn't me trying to throw shade. These are just the facts. When you look at who's voting for who, the less educated folk, and when I say educated, I'm not even talking about formal education. I'm talking about people that literally don't want to read and enlighten themselves on facts. Those are the people that typically vote for the Republicans, and it's one of the reasons that we have to stop writing in theses as Democrats, right? Like, we want to give you every single little detail that we can find so that you can have all the information. But the reality is that the average person that is going out there and voting, they're not paying attention to that.
Really? That's what she said, right? Y'all heard her?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's take a look at this. As we know, Black women, this is, I don't know why this, this is Black period. Okay, so that's just total. So here we go, by race. All right, so this is the voting number. 91% of Black women voted for Kamala. 77% voted for Black men voted for Kamala. 45% of white women voted for Kamala. 37% of white men voted for Kamala, and 43% of Latino men voted for Kamala. But everybody else, as you can see by race, non-white, 64% Kamala, 41% white for Kamala. All the black at 11% voted 85% as a total for Kamala. Now, you can sit up here and tell me all about your education all you want to, but we know the type of degrees that these people get, particularly the most, quote unquote, the most educated demographic in America. We know what type of degrees you get. Y'all want to rattle them off while I find the video?
Health and social sciences. That's all
What?
the hell they want to major.
What else?
Health and human sciences, social work, humanities,
Communications.
Yeah.
What else?
Psychology.
Yeah.
What else? Liberal arts.
Liberal arts. Oh yeah, you can't never forget about liberal arts. Oh, they queen the basketball.
Gender studies.
Oh yeah.
Feminist studies.
Women's studies. Okay.
Basket
Underwater
What was that last one? What was that last one, AB?
Basket weaving.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Peep this.
Hi.
Oh, don't forget criminal justice. They're going to go work for the prosecution team all day.
Spiritual.
Actually,
hold on.
Black storytelling.
Hold on.
Oh my God! All these useless degrees.
I'm Alexia, and my concentration is creativity as communication. How the arts act as a language outside of verbal communication. Period.
Bitch, you gonna be unemployed for the rest of your life.
Of up-and-coming scholars.
forgot about
I'm sure they'll
intersectionality.
contribute greatly to our society. Listen, there's obviously a place for the arts. I don't want to go too far in you have to do only STEM. No, there's a place for the arts. But these people, man, it sounds like I want to enjoy absolutely none of the media that they would produce.
Now, understand now, we bring this up, but we're the
Have shown
coon.
that black women are the highest paid and the most educated.
The studies were wrong.
Pull up black women, one of the most educated. I can send you plenty of articles on it.
I was wrong. And I don't want you ladies looking stupid when you say this, so let's break down the facts. In 2016, the National Center for Education Statistics came out with this chart. And in this chart, as you can see, it says black women 67 and the rest of the races are less than 67. And people seeing 67 and articles like this came out. She even referenced the National Center for Education Statistics in this article. This article was comparing men. So out of 100% of black degrees, 67% is held by women and 33% by men. The facts. Asians are first, whites are second, we're in third. For more tips, hit the plus and check the channel out.
Now, you're sitting up here just like Sonny Holston, calling first we were what did they call us? What did she call us? Crazy black men?
Yep.
And then she called white women uneducated white women. But the funny part about all of this is that for some reason, and I'm being serious here, and I'm not trying to denigrate, but let's be honest, a lot of black people, particularly black women, feel that an education equals intelligence, and it doesn't.
Hey, don't forget entitlement. It equals entitlement in their mind. They're entitled to everything once they get that so-called quote-unquote education. Because it's not education, it's education. Dumbass.
That's $1.
The snow aid.
Well, you ain't played the whole thing.
Put it on my bill. Put it on my tag.
My bad. I need to take it off my phone. I need to take it off my phone.
Yeah, this
Snowy.
uploaded to Street StreamYard. It should take an MP4.
We're gonna get into one more Jasmine Crockett video, and then we're gonna move on to some more Joy Reid stuff.
No, like this isn't me trying to throw shade. These are just the facts. When you look at who's voting for who, the less educated.
Oh shoot! I already played that. Dang it! I lost the dang it. I removed them of the. At
That's
any rate,
okay.
let's get on to the. Dang it! Ah, my goodness.
When are you going to address the situation what we spoke about earlier,
What are we talking about?
Mr. DJ?
I'm not, because I don't care what he has to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I already talked to BGS about that behind the scenes, and it's not.
Okay. All right.
Look. Okay, look.
No, don't do it.
No.
He doesn't deserve your energy. Period. Point blank. Let's move on.
Look. I'm gonna say this. There was the conversations that are being had by certain groups of people that are black on YouTube are of low caliber. And I do not have the time nor the energy.
Yes, sir.
To indulge in that.
Wouldn't do it.
Do you understand? All that yelling, cussing, hollering, screaming, going back and forth, threatening people, threatening each other, all that little girl gossip. And this, as a matter of fact, this is okay, not talking about what you brought up, but as far as the ideology of the situation. To sit up here and to be doxing people, threatening people, trying to get their channels removed, all of this wild, silly Negro stuff, and then have the unmitigated gall to say that black men such as us who try to speak above the muck and the mire
Looking for my
to say that we are coons. You are silly. You are silly. Give me a 1 in the chat and an I if I'm right, or a nay if I'm wrong. A 2 in the chat if I'm wrong. 1 in the chat if I'm right. 2 in the chat if I'm wrong. Do we have an I? Maybe eyes. Maybe the nays. Hello, everybody. Do you agree? Say aye.
Aye. Where you at, Charles?
He handling business. He got somebody bent over a couch somewhere. If you disagree, say nay. Thank you. All right.
The eyes have it.
The eyes have it, indeed. They say she's rolling with it. Let's see. I mean, more use for idiots. I love that movie. Remember we watched that, Lewis?
Yeah.
Blazing Saddles. I mean, more useful idiots, black women with useful degrees, more for the Democrats and the left to exploit and manipulate the black community. Let's see, looking like Dennis Rodman. Who in the black chat? Oh, you got a drop? All right. Good to have you, Mr. No News. You can be more assertive in the chat, bro. We don't care. You can come on in. You can talk. Like it's an open forum. You say,
can I say something?
The black man's. Yeah, go ahead.
Because I like this. I'm just saying this for saying for when we had got off, I was listening to some of it, and this fool was talking about with the situation, but we should be worried about that a black Joint Chiefs of Staff was fired. Charles Faulkner had a very good stream, because I know all of y'all are like shadow watching this, in the clouds and everything. When you run your mouth, know what you're running your mouth on.
Yeah.
Because the Joint Chiefs of Staff is a political position. The person that's put in that seat.
Hold on.
It's
If you're
what-
chewing, just mute the mic. You can eat. You can mute the mic and still not drop. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Lewis. Go ahead.
The person that's put in that seat is one that's most likely running with the political ideological tongue tied for me.
Ideology.
Ideology. Thank you. I went to public school. Pardon me. With the president, and they're going to have the same worldview. It's not a position that is like you're entitled to. It's appointed. Just like if you live in a municipality, your police chief and your fire chief is a political appointment. You do not get that for being in time and grade in the military. Okay? Do some research before you run your chops and bump your gums.
Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. You just trying to make stuff up because you know you hate black people. Nuh-uh. That's what. Go ahead.
I'm not. You know that like they're like when people say that they're putting their own, trying to put their own stuff on other people. So I mean, they're the ones that will most likely go to HR and get their own brother or sister fired from a job. The ones that say that shit. So up, Snow Aid.
All right, send them the money.
Yeah, I got $1. Oh.
Send them the dollar. Send them the $1. They'll owe them at least 20.
I'm up to 4. Quit playing with me. I'm up to 4. Like I say, put it on my tab.
Put it on your tab. All right, you know, make sure y'all look. And all okay with the snow. Let me say this now that I got everybody here. With the Snow Aid, you know, we know Snow going through his health situation. You know, he's always discussing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I mean, I'm not, and I want to know, I'm not trying to make fun of him because I was the one who came up with this whole situation where if we curse, we give him $1. He's the swear jar. And Snow will tell you, he'll be in the middle of the night, especially like at the end of my streams, I'll send him like $4 here, $5 there, $1 here, $2 there. He'll tell you, I pay my Snow Aid because I'm not doing it as a way of making fun of him, but as a way of helping the brother out. You'd be surprised at what a couple of dollars do for somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's you know down in the situation.
We're not making a mockery. We're using the situation to help a brother out, which people accuse us of not doing.
Right. I mean, I'm now broadcasting almost every day. So at the end of the week, he's probably looking at least what, $20 or something like that, 25. So
you ain't gonna keep us from cussing because it's gonna
I know. That's why I created the Snow Aid.
it is what it is. So
Look, I told Snow, I said you need to be up here and getting people to cuss it so you can get you some Snow Aid. Juice Coons a lot of views.
Well, can we please get back to our favorite bald-headed? Wish they was blonde. Wish they had
Wait.
insecurity
Before you start that, let me take a
idiosyncrasy problem.
I can make a good meme out of that.
What?
Oh, you want to?
That look.
You want the
can
link
make a
so I
meme.
can send it to you so you can get
Yeah.
All right,
I can
I'll
make a
send it
good
to you
meme
in the
out of
back chat. All right, I'll send it to you in the back chat. So that way you have it.
Oh my God.
All right, so let's play this, and this, of course, comes courtesy of what people call their favorite coons, the Hodge twins. So let's get it.
Their fellow Marine.
Hey, that don't look like Joy Reid. That look like Roy Reid.
Man.
We've laid out the stakes in this crucial election, where one side stands for freedom while the other meets the textbook definition of fascism, namely a far-right dictatorial regime like Hitler's Germany. We begin tonight with a full-on crisis in our democracy, as federal workers are literally locked out of their offices while operatives working for a private citizen essentially take over our government. If this were happening in any other country right now, I promise you, I'd be on the air calling it a coup.
Hey, the Federal Reserve, that's a private company. You ain't got a problem with that. Hey, but I don't know how this woman lasted as long as she did because she just spewed lies each and every day. But black women on TikTok are losing their minds. Good. Yeah, check this out.
Did I just hear that they canceled Joy Reid's show on MSNBC? I did not hear that.
Yes, she did.
I already
We feel
canceled
nothing.
Joe and Mika, Morning Joe, when they went and kissed the ring. I just couldn't believe that. I have been listening to Morning Joe for, ever. And I was
Morning
just
Joe.
so disappointed that they
Morning
did that.
Roy.
So I was still watching Rachel, Joy, Chris Hayes, Ari, Lawrence, everybody but Joe and Mika. And now I just saw something that they canceled her show. I may just have to cancel MSNBC because she was passionate. She brought the facts. She had the receipts.
She brought facts.
Her show was good. How dare you? How dare you?
We dared, and it happened.
Lion. Get the out of Dodge. If telling the truth was a fucking person, it would be her. She don't give a about the right. She don't give a. She's about her community, and you took her show off. But this lets you know, MSNBC, count your days, because y'all are so. But Joe and Mika stayed on because they kissed the ring.
First and foremost, wasn't nobody watching this woman's show.
No,
Say it again, black man. Say it again, black man. Say it again. They don't hear you in the back.
What'd you say, AB?
Her ratings suck.
Yes.
Nobody was watching her show. All she did was race bait and race hustle and lie. This woman defended pedophiles in the school system.
Not only that, if you have the dislike add-on on Chrome, go look at her MSNBC videos. A lot of them have a huge dislike ratio. And only get me started on the comments. Excuse me.
I'm gonna let this play and we'll get to that. Because I've been looking for that video for a minute. Hold on.
Meltdown.
They barely say anything bad about now. Oh. But because she speaks in truth, you cancel her show.
So much?
Her show was amazing. It brought light to racism. It brought community to.
Her show was amazing. You know what?
Like
When
Kamala
Tucker
ran a
Carlson
flawless
lost his job,
campaign.
He's the most viewed anchor on TV. Yeah. I was surprised when they let him go. Yeah. You know, because he was truly doing journalism. He wasn't like, I know he was leaning right, but majority of the time, it made sense. It was factual. It was objective, impartial. Yeah, he showed both sides. Yeah. Yeah. But check. Yeah.
Together. For stories that weren't known on the local news, she bought. Are you kidding me? Boy, if this ain't white America, I don't know what it is.
Yes, it is white America. You just now figured that out? What if this turned into black America? Oh, wait. This will be pure hell. You better count your blessings. Do you actually think America would be better off if the majority was black folks?
Oh my God.
Cool child. Not like us. It's definitely the song of a century.
I'm so sick of hearing that reference.
So here we go again. Joy Reid, who has been a real.
Okay. How moist?
Oh, come on.
How moist is this Duncan Hines cake?
What? Isn't it self-explanatory, babe? Come on now. Come on, cut the shit.
Is this cake?
When he started smacking the lips and overly pausing to get himself together and just speak like a heterosexual male supposed to, you knew what was up. Cut the shit, babe. Cut the shit.
Hey, babe.
That was a
$6.
double.
What's up?
That was a double devil foods cake recipe right there.
Man,
Okay, let's get back to it. I'm sorry, I had to.
Not Like Us is definitely the song of a century.
I'm so sick of hearing that reference.
So here we go again. Joy Reid, who has been our real voice on MSNBC, she never
Dude, put me to
backed
sleep.
down on what she was saying.
Oh my
She
God.
was always forthright with what she was saying, and she held her ground, and she called everybody to the carpet. So MSNBC, why are you canceling her show? To give some of the other people on the network who want to keep their paychecks, so they just cower and only say, just a little bit, and not say the truth.
These people live in an alternate reality.
Who would Joy Reid replace with?
Simone Sanders, Michael Steele, and some Latino lady. I can't think of her name right now.
Alicia Mendez. So you got two black people, a black man, a black woman, and a Hispanic woman, but somehow MSNBC is racist for canceling a show that was not producing any money. It cost more money than it was able to bring in. Just like, the local grocery store that people have been stealing from, or the Walmart that people have been stealing from, or the CVS that people have been stealing from. But there were no stories about that. Right?
And if you think about it, MSNBC replaced them with more minorities. They got rid of one minority and replaced them with a black male, black female, and a Latino. And y'all crying? Shut up. Don't nobody care. Screw your tears.
You know what? Understand that these people who are melting down, these are the people that I call coons.
Butthurt coons.
Right. These are the people that I call coons, but there's a reason why I call them coons, because these are people who call themselves being pro-black.
Woke, black.
But here's the thing about pro-blacks that I have learned being conscious, is that pro-blacks defend, promote, and protect degeneracy. And they like to hide their failures behind the veil of racism. Everything is about race. That's why, remember when you used to hear people say you had to work 3 or 10 times harder than a white person in order to get ahead?
Yeah.
That's because a lot. Let's just be honest. Not only was the education not there, but also the work ethic wasn't there. So in order to cover up for the lack of education, your work ethic had to be amazing. All right. Your work ethic had to be amazing because you didn't have the education. And now that you have the quote unquote education, as we see what it is, like you said, entitlement, that comes from laziness. That comes from intellectual laziness. You don't want to do the work. This is the whole situation with Elon Musk and the Doge, and you need to do the email and the end of DEI and whatnot, which benefited white women and their white gay counterparts more than black women who got the crumbs. This is why they're being removed, because you're following these people, these Democratic black people are following the leads of Democratic white people who are very lazy, very entitled. I mean, look at the average white female Democrat. Do they look like, sexual preference, racial preference aside, do these land whales look like something you would stick yourself in as a man, as a black man?
No. Get limp at the sight of them. Get nauseous. Get a migraine just looking at them. And they're Karen. and they're Karens at that. That's a double turn off.
Yeah.
No.
AB,
The skinny ones too. Don't discriminate.
I was about to say the skinny ones they seem to have a mental disorder. Something is off with them.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've had my dealings with white women. Of course, you know, me being part of the liberal circles, although I'm an independent, Obama made sure of that. But yet I'm dealing with liberal white women, and it was no different than dealing with a ratchet black chick. It was no different.
Don't talk about Amber Heard like that.
The only difference was that I was in Ohio and I had to worry about them possibly pulling you know, some type of racial crime on me. Luckily, I mean, I was never in a position where I got into it with one where they felt the need to call the police because it had been game over. I had to call the police. They never called the police. You understand? It gets. Trust me, that they are just as, if not more, psychotic than the average Democratic white female. And if you all pay attention, if you notice, you don't see a lot of conservative black men and women doing stupid stuff out here in these streets. Did you know? You ever know?
Oh no. They're not gonna do that.
You ever notice that conservative black people tend to mind their own business?
The real ones, yes.
Yeah, they tend to stay in the house. They work. They put their money up. They make smart moves. They raise their children. The men don't put up with no mess. And in all honesty, this is why that 77% really bothers me when it comes to the voting numbers, because it's like black men on all men, really, unless they like biting pillows or they've been brainwashed into this prostitute culture. They were raised by a prostitute. They lean very conservative because men are supposed to be logical and in control of their emotions. They're supposed to be thinkers, builders, protectors, doers, not out here with a cat brain. Not out here, and this is the very problem that plagues us as black men, is that we come from, thanks to the Democrats, a welfare society where our mothers prostituted herself. It didn't matter whether she laid down for the $40 or not. In some form or fashion or another, you're in the house with her. She's getting ready for a date, or she has a boyfriend. And the way that she talks about the boyfriend or the date before she leaves, whether she's on the phone or she's talking to the daughter or whatever, a friend in the house, whatever, the way that she moves, the way that she talks when the guy is not around, it's that of a prostitute. She's playing the game. She got 5 men on rotation. One do the car, one do the house. You know what I'm saying? One cut the grass, one is the food guy, and one does the midnight stroking. Is that 4 or 5? Whatever.
Don't forget about the one who cut the little boys' heads.
Yeah, the barber. She might go in the back, maybe, you know, kiss the tip or give him a little handy or something. Or maybe might make him think that he gonna get it. You know, some of these dudes, they be so thirsty. You know what? You have dudes who are over the age of 25. They are so. Let me say this. One of the biggest bursts of the black manosphere concerning their issues with women, the dry dick clubness, is because they didn't grow up dealing with women in high school to the point where women didn't affect them once they were over the age of 21. Their mentality was not, you know, on some chick please type of stuff, but they was like, let me please you, chick type of stuff. They so thirsty for love because They're inexperienced with women. You're 30, 40 years old, and you still out here simping and tricking because you never had anybody sit there and try to tell you or show you a better way. And we can sit up here and make 1,001 videos at 6 hours a clip all day long. And these dudes can sit up there and watch these videos all day long. A simp and a trick is always going to be that. Why do you think Fresh and Fit and them and whatever podcast and all these other people last so long? Because these guys, this is the game. And I peeped this a couple years ago. The game is you get these chicks on the podcast. You go in the circle. They shout out their OnlyFans or whatever page that they use to make money. These guys by the thousands will go and sub to these girls and then call them every name in the book in the chat while Myron sit up there and talk all types of smack to them to their faces. Some girls can't handle it. Some girls do because they let these girls know up front, yo, this is the play. This is the play. This is the game. And some of them can't handle it. That's what Pearl was doing overseas. This was the play, except the problem was you're dealing with people of low IQ. Their Wechsler scores are 60 or below. They get in their feelings.
Quick.
But these dudes who sit up there and watch these shows, all they do is inundate themselves with all these, females are bad videos, but they still turn around, super chatting Byron them, buying the girls OnlyFans, all of this stuff. They still simping out. They're still simping out. You still got young NBA players knocking up 40-something-year-old broads.
They're conflicted, babe. You can blame them, but you can't blame them at the same time. Because like I said, before you lay blame on all these Neanderthal simp, what you say, dry Richard getting brothers, because I ain't gonna use the other word for Richard, because I'm up to $4. You ain't gonna give me the $5.
You up to $6.
No, watch that. Watch
you up to $6.
Okay, hold on. You already been shouted at the D word, so let's not take
no. A hard curse word is okay.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I need the goddamn parameters. See,
my bad.
See, at the parameters, my map is reckless like Texas. We don't care. But yeah,
we're the black women to give her a show. All right, yeah, I did that. I'm sorry. So, what's going on, G? Serotonin.
What's up with you, AB? How you feeling, brother?
All right.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Loud
we
and
can hear
clear.
Yeah,
He the only one you worried about?
What's up, AB? Man, my fault, AL. How you feeling, brother? How you doing, Charles? How the brothers doing? Peace to the guys, man.
Yeah, thank you, Gigi. That's a lot better.
Yeah, peace to the guys. Like this goes into what we've been talking about for the last couple of days on all the different panels, right? Because we're talking about how these people think and how these people behave, right? But I think more so as a child that grew up amongst these people. Like, it's damn near like a cult. Because imagine you're a little boy growing up in this stuff. Right? And I always related to the children because we're all grown men. We've all coped and we've survived and we've, kind of figured it out. But imagine you're a little boy growing up in this stuff and somebody's telling you things, but then you're going to school learning one thing. Like, it's like you're getting bombarded by different things to learn, but the only time you get rewarded is when you do the dumb shit. You get what I'm saying? So imagine I went to school and I took a test and I got 100 on the test and nobody was happy or nothing. But I got into a fight with Jamal and I beat him up and everybody cheered me on.
Oh yeah.
You see, or I was good at chess, but that didn't get me the girls. I was better at football for running and hitting a dude, But the me being able to run and hit that dude is more valuable than me being able to do this math problem that none of the other kids can never do. So this is how you'll get boys who actually have high aptitude and acumen who cannot develop because we don't have fathers either. So there's nobody to kind of structure our knowledge or nothing. Like, I'm realizing this as a grown up, and I'm going to college, and I'm building my life at 35, but I should have did it at 21. But at 19, I was damn near dead because somebody told me a real nigga's supposed to get a pack and take care of his mama.
Oh boy. Yeah.
So my whole life I was striving for manhood as a young man, and everything they told me that manhood was destructive. But I was smart enough to understand I need to be constructive, but I still was seeking the pleasure. Like, this shit is weird, bro. I'm trying to figure it out still as a grown man. And that's why sometimes when people talk to me, I'm so lenient on niggas that y'all call Pookie. Because I think a lot of times how we grew up determines it. Because a lot of brothers have fathers, and like those of us that didn't have fathers, our life is so radical that it affects the other brothers. Because we trying to fucking escape death.
All right. Okay, hold on. So we have a thing here where if you curse, you have to give $1 to Snow Aid. Play it.
Oh man, what's the cash app, man? I gotta get. What's your who I got a cash app?
That's $1.
No, man. We'll put it up on the screen. That's his cash app. It's $1 curse word.
Okay, so let me stop cursing because I'm gonna be broke. I only got $17 on cash app.
Right. We're trying to keep it respectful so people don't lose their monetization or their channels or anything. Because YouTube has been real funny. So go ahead. You can say what you're saying. But just understand, if you curse, you got to pay the Snow Aid.
Apologies, Snow Man. But this is what I'm saying, though, brother. Like, this goes in depth because in that statement they were talking about how when they would make a statement, she would just bust out like, "You white people don't know because y'all was this or that," and it was like, and I'm like, damn, this shit is like a movie to my life. It's like a movie to my life, brother, because I can just picture being a young man and I'm trying to teach, like I'm trying to tell my parents something or my aunt or my family, like something that I learned in school or some type of thing, and the way they would react to it. And if they didn't understand it, it automatically became white people stuff. And it's a hard thing to realize that you're more intelligent than your parents. This is a struggle that a lot of boys go through in the black community when you realize I'm smarter than them. But they telling you you're dumb because you're not good at the dumb stuff. So it's a cultural warp because I'm smarter than you in real life. Like, I have the acumen to become a mechanic or an engineer or a lawyer or something. You can't really pass the basic acumen to do things. So you make it seem like your dysfunction is actually prestigious. But so it's hard being a child of intellect amongst this stuff. Do y'all get how this relates to what I'm trying to say? It doesn't really relate in that way, but imagine the boys that are with these women that have been indoctrinated and you never really had a man around you of substance, or you never had a situation in your life to break you from that.
No, I fully understand. I mean, you set up there, and again, it's not a diss to Anton, but Anton had his mom a phone call with him, and she pretty much told him that sometimes he was too smart for his own good because he had a conservative viewpoint. Do you understand? He had a conservative viewpoint, and his mother felt that there were times that he was too smart for his own good because he asked questions.
But
really, what type of stuff is that?
What is deeper is, it's not even about the question per se. It's about your comprehension of what's going on is greater than theirs.
Yeah.
They don't get mad that you ask the question. They get mad when you articulate that they don't really understand what they're talking about. Like, I remember I told the dude when we were young, Why is you worried about getting a job and we gangbanging? And he couldn't fathom the relationship. Like, bro, you choosing a different life. Like, there's no going back from this. Like, they couldn't. And then when I got older, it took me a long time to realize they don't understand. It's not that they're stupid. It's not that they can't get it. Like, they could eat. They'll be able to get a job and pay their bills, but they don't understand higher concepts. So you're trying to explain things, and and as a young boy, you're searching for this meaning amongst these people, but you feel a loyalty to them. Because for me, it was kind of warped, because like I was also introduced to like Black revolutionary literature. So it was like I'm 13 and 14 reading Black revolutionary literature in the ghetto, and I haven't even made my life, and I'm living my life at 14 like I'm a 35-year-old Black revolutionary in the 50s. Like I have an anti-establishment mindset. Like I'm all like, man, we got to be in the streets for our people with a gang, and I think this gang is a fucking arm. Sorry, I owe you $1. But this is the indoctrination you face as a young child. You have a mind that can think and reason, but you're trying to twist your reasoning to fit drug addicts and low quality people's lifestyle. And that's the Democratic stiff, like, oh, food stamps and all of this, but it's the lifestyle that's detrimental. Because even your brightest people can't develop, because everything you've taught them about gaining in life or pleasure is actually destructive and backwards. So we think that we're failing because we're Black, but you're really failing because you're ignorant. And the lifestyle that they live is such a facade, you don't even understand that this house and stuff is propped up by welfare and Section 8. Like they will be homeless if it wasn't for this. So you think that they got to be some type of smart. They got a house, and all the brothers you know is damn near homeless. But you do know brothers that's not homeless, but they don't even living in the community with you. They gone, and then you realize that as you get old, you just got to leave because you're not actually facing a problem. Like that's just how they are, and that's why the system is built like it is to take care of those people. You got to be smart enough as a man to just leave it.
You got it out? You got it off your chest?
Yeah, man. I just was watching this stuff over the last couple of days, and like we all worried about the women and stuff, but we're just like, I'm in the mental sphere. I'm not really worried about the women. Like they're not going to change.
No,
I'm more worried about the little boys and their understanding of what's really going on in the world. Like you have to realize what you are, bro.
My thing is that the way that I originally saw the manosphere was men who were they were coming from trauma, but they didn't understand that they were coming from trauma. That's what the whole conscious community and whatnot was really about. It was about overcoming trauma from post-traumatic slave disorder. Man, know thyself, all of these things. But now we're in an age here in 2025 where it's all about it's about getting your money up. But between 2018 and 2022, it was all about understanding that as a Black man, you have no friends. I mean, the catalyst of that, which really was the real eye opener, was the Cocktails with Queens with Ice Cube, when he had that plan for Black America, the contract for Black America that him and a few other people were working on, but he was the face of it because of his celebrity status. And when they asked him, well, what about Black women? And Ice Cube said, well, aren't Black women Black people? And they said no. And Ice Cube looked like, what the hell? What? And then you never heard him mention that contract ever again, if you noticed. You noticed that? Y'all noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
He never talked about it again.
Yeah.
He was smart.
And as black men, the day we heard that is the day we should have just truthfully severed ties with these insufferable creatures. Period, point blank. But when I say it, I mean an evil. But it's okay. I'll be the bad guy.
I will say this: I don't hate them. I know that they are a product of a white lesbian man hating feminist ideology that they call feminism. I know that they are the product of that. They are the product of welfare. Their grandmothers and great grandmothers and whatnot really did them no favors. Integration did black people no favors. We were better off with segregation, but the thing about it was what Martin Luther King was really fighting for was separation, moving away the segregation laws. We should be able to drink at a water fountain. We should be able to stop at any coffee shop, all right, and get something to drink without somebody spitting in it or whatnot. But the whole thing is that why would you want to?
Well, what people got mixed up is with the integration thing is you had integration, but you still maintain your ability for self-determination. And when we had integration, one, it killed off the black entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Facts.
And we got fat off the hog with a lot of people on government benefits. And it killed that hunger for that entrepreneurial spirit. And the quest for self-determination died with it.
Can I
remember
speak after you, brother? I'm sorry. Can I speak after that, brother?
Yeah, the rule is pass the mic.
Yeah,
so
I just want to know.
When you're done, just say pass the mic, and G will give it right to you. All right.
I remember growing up. I'm a child of the 70s, where you had in the neighborhoods here in Jersey, you had black doctors. That was the doctors' offices were in houses, but it was set up as a doctor establishment and everything sanitary and everything. You had black-owned stores. The blacks controlled the taxi medallions in Newark. You had black dentists. You had black lawyers. You had black gynecologists, black pediatricians. Everything was in the neighborhood where if you wanted to go somewhere, you could go to, and it was black owned. And by the 90s, all that stuff was wiped out. The Haitians and the Africans, they had took over the taxi cab industry. And I know a person, he was making, and this was in the 80s, he was making close to $100,000 a year alone off of the taxi cab medallion, and he owned a couple of corner stores throughout the city. Back then, that was upper middle class. You had black-owned mechanic shops. Everything you need to do except for major big box grocery stores, so to say, supermarkets, that's controlled not by us, but for the most part, things that you need, you could go to a black-owned establishment. And by the 90s, all that died. The only thing that was really left was your steak and takes, the NOI establishments. And I passed the mic on that.
Go ahead, G.
Yo, peace, brothers. The more I study the civil rights movement and the brothers, those brothers were smart brothers, man. Like, I don't think integration hurt us at all. I think it brought us into the real world out of slavery. We talk about these black-owned businesses. There's no such thing as a black-owned business in India or Indonesia. There's called a business in Indonesia, and you have to be competitive. We cannot depend on our skin color to progress, because that's the same thing that held us back. We got to come into the real world. That's all I'm going to say. Like, I respect those brothers' decision because I understand more as a man now that being black, it does mean something to us. But it means something to us, and that's our personal identity. in the real world, we have to compete with Indians and Japanese and Malaysians and all of that. So, you know what I mean? We can't be worried about the black community if it was never equal anyway. It was, you know, we was segregated and we got all the secondhand stuff and we made the best do. But we got to come and compete in the real world for real things. That's all. Like, that's the welfare mind state, is that we supposed to be given something because we're black. No, just give me my liberty and I'll choose what I want to do.
Well, I understand where you're coming from. Thing about it is that not everything, and do understand that we don't argue here. We just share a difference of opinion and we respect each other's opinions on it. All right. So understand that what I'm about to say is not an attack. It's just from the viewpoint that I'm coming from, you know. Of course, not everything was secondhand. It was, I mean, we built towns, cities. We had whole neighborhoods that were outshining the average white persons, especially the liberal / Democrat white people who were normally what you see now, a bunch of poor, degenerate bastards. Not saying that there aren't any that are on the conservative side, because I mean there are, but the majority of the people that burned down our towns and our cities and raped our daughters and wives and mothers were of Democrat ideology. They were liberals because they failed to see us as human beings. The issue is that although we did have a lot of great things going on in a lot of pockets, unfortunately, when integration was allowed, thanks to the Republican Party, what happened was a lot of white man's ISIS coder people ran to white shops. They ran into JCPenney's and Woolworths and Willie's Cafe and whatnot, because they felt that those establishments were better simply because they were owned by white people who already, of course, as we know, had that huge 160-year or 400-year jump on us off of our free labor to where they could have all of these fancy things. But now in today's society, yes, things are equal. We didn't have to compete with the Indians or the Asians or whatnot back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, etc., until we started, well, not we, but until the federal government started making them dump their businesses in our neighborhoods. That's when we really had to compete with them. You didn't have a lot of Asian stores or Indians from India or Arab stores in our neighborhoods until late 70s, early 80s. I mean, look at the whole situation with Rodney King. You had Asians, Koreans on the rooftop with rifles. But a lot of the damage that happened, whatever black-owned businesses were in those areas, they were completely destroyed. So yeah, I mean, no, we cannot lean on our racial makeup for prosperity. But there is the one thing that is definitely a lie is racial harmony and unity. That is a whole lie. I 100% agree with you on that. That's a whole lie.
And this is, can I get in real quick, brother?
Yes, go ahead.
And I feel what you saying, but I'm gonna take a stance from them. They not like us anyway. If you don't understand the position that we're in as a group of people enough to support your people, you're not like us anyway. This is the issue Marcus Garvey had. It doesn't matter how prestigious he wanted to be if the people didn't want to be part of it. And when he built the thing, the Gold Star Line, they still took the bribes from the white people. They not part of us anyway. See, it can't be about the money when you're trying to rise if we already know how to make money. If I already know how to make money and I'm for my group of people, I'm going to rely on my own skills. I'm not going to depend on my group to support me. That's me using my intellect because I'm for the movement of my people. These people that we're trying to save and explain this to don't understand that. Peace to the guys.
No, you're right. You know, Termacat, he agreed with you.
So think about it. Staying integrated with those people was pointless. They're not part of us. Because when it was before integration, the top 1 in 10% that understood carried everybody else. And when they would be trying to explain to these people why we should do this, they would be getting fought by their own people. And at the same time, going to get sprayed down with water hose for those same people because they loved them. So think about, we live in a time and day where Martin Luther King was sprayed down and beat, and they gave us a certain type of humanity in this place. Just for the people that's on the show, right? Just think about the irony of what we have faced in this country. We live in a world where Martin Luther King and those type of men fought for the right for us to say whatever we want and to be equal on that footing. For a woman to have the right to say Martin Luther King wasn't a good person and insult his character, and we just have to take it.
We're trying to burn down his house.
Man,
a black woman trying to burn down his house.
That's
and the world we live in. Other black woman said he wasn't a good man because she's more worried about if he committed this, that, and the third on Coretta, because all she heard was what she heard from those freaking
this
tapes.
Is the thing.
That
this
was
is
put
the
out.
beauty of Martin Luther King. He wouldn't have cared that she said it anyway. He wanted her to be able to say it.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So this is the world we have to evolve past that mind state that those brothers had, because it was a different time. And they fought and died to change that time. That's why we don't live in it no more.
Exactly. You're 100% right. And it's no longer this. Here's the thing. This is why you can't sit up here and be a Jasmine Crockett, millions of dollars in the bank, Gucci purse, you know, sitting up here.
Three or four estates down here in Texas. One in Austin, one in Galveston, one in Dallas.
Full clown costume on with the hair and the makeup and everything. Able to go anywhere you want to go. Nobody's called you. Look, you can pee in any bathroom you want to anywhere. You can eat at any restaurant you want to anywhere. You're a member of Congress. And you're sitting up here crying racism. Where? How? Why? Because you're not getting what you want? Because a Joy Reid got fired? Because they did away with DEI, which was nothing but hiring a bunch of incompetent white people, mainly women and gays, mainly trans? And you hollering racism? Are you serious?
Because listen, that's the program they've been taught to run to get the goodies, but that program is gone.
It's 34 belly dive. That's the only play they know. They go run it 99 times.
Remember, we talked about how years ago we questioned these degrees. Like, is they really passing these degrees if all the women doing the grading are feminists?
Oh, you missed it. You missed it when we played the degrees video.
Oh, there was a video about it?
Yes.
Oh, we got all up in there.
You late. You late.
No, it doesn't surprise me. We talked about this years ago on a whole nother panel. Like, I don't believe they actually earned a degree because I went to school with them and they're not that smart.
Hello, say it again, black man. Say it again. Most educated, but less knowledgeable.
I'm not even an educated person. Like, I'm not educated.
RICO is not a crime. It is a category. What is the
It's a category of crime.
They're supposed to be having
the stupidity.
Oh my God. Who no. Shout out to the brother who was brave enough to put the helmet on.
The women with bachelor's degrees that didn't know when slavery ended.
I believe it.
I've talked to women with bachelor's degrees and I asked them when slavery ended and they looked at me like, what are you talking about?
No, you should have asked them about the Emancipation Proclamation, to be more precise.
That's the same thing.
Yes.
Why would I ask them about the same shit?
Black people have always had a certain amount of moral currency that we have been using. And let me be the first to tell you, that's used up. White America has been watching us act like fools for a long enough time where any sympathy they may have had to our plight is completely gone. You're approaching a country that, forget hating black people or not hating black people, they just don't care. You're going to be talking about affirmative action. They're going to be like, I don't care. It literally is of no importance to me. I don't care about slavery. I don't care about segregation. I don't care about you. I don't care how many of you all go to jail. I don't care at all, because I'm broke. You can't be the proud, noble fighter when every single time someone sees a person that looks like you on television, they're acting like a damn fool. How would they know? How would they know you're not a damn fool?
Hello.
Do you got a minute to play something, Bay? Do you got a minute to play something?
Sure.
Bring this up.
That's why we're here.
That and leave it. And me and my brothers will be trying to figure out, because we were young, what is he talking about? Ice is ice. And I'm sitting there, we going back and forth he would never explain. We would beg him, hey, explain that. What do you mean? What do you mean? He would never explain it. But at different times, he would tell us, remember what I told you. When you deal with niggas, the white man's ice is always cold.
It's cold.
And I never understood exactly what he meant.
Yes, you did.
Until I
You
became
just
an
didn't want
adult
to comprehend.
and started dealing with y'all. Once I started dealing with y'all, it hit me like an epiphany. The light bulb went off. I know exactly what he's talking about.
Duh.
Oh yeah, I got it now. I understand now exactly. All those years he would say that and he would never explain it. Because I think he understood that. Okay, just keep living. You'll find out. I'm not going to tell you. You're going to find out on your own. When you deal with this nigga, the white man's ice is always colder. Never would explain it. But after dealing with y'all, I see exactly what he was saying. And this ties into y'all's thinking. There's something wrong with this Negro's mind. And when you look at this meme, because I didn't really go into the meme in the last video, but I'm going to go into this video. And it's going to tie into everything that I just told you. And what lets you know that there's something wrong here is when you look at this Negro and look at the scenario. Now, the Negro wants a hot dog.
Oh, I remember this
He
one.
wants a Frankfurter.
Yeah, this one's
He wants
classy.
a Hebrew National. He wants a ballpark Frank, whatever it is he wants. He wants a hot dog. He walks into the white man's shop. White man say, hey, listen, man, my hot dogs are $3.75. That Negro will reach in his pocket, pay that $3.75 with a smile on his face. Likewise, he go to the Arab. I want a hot dog. Arab tell him, listen, my hot dogs are $3.75. That Negro will reach in his pocket, pay that $3.75, and leave him a tip. He go to the Asian man. Asian guy tell him, listen, man, my hot dogs are $3.75. He reaches in his pocket, asks for 2 Cokes, pays the price. He
No complaint.
walks into the black man's store.
Oh, here we go.
The black man tells him, my hot dogs are the same price as everybody else. It is only at that point that this Negro will all of a sudden develop an attitude.
Become uppity than a motherfucker.
$3.75 for a hot dog. How you explain that?
Become uppity than an MF.
Nobody else got a lip. Nobody else got a gripe. Nobody else got any kind of back talk. The only person who's going to get that back talk in that lip is a black establishment. And y'all wonder why you can't have black stores in black communities owned by black people.
You can't even
For one,
advertise
you
you a black business. It's pointless.
No,
That's
you
correct.
said
I don't
it.
do no
For
business.
now, you said it.
African
Lit it up.
Americans aren't gonna support them. For 2, y'all gonna go in those stores looking for a hookup. Now the dude is in business, guy. He's in
Same as the
business to
other
turn a
three.
profit.
Same
He's
as the
not
other
doing this
three.
for his health. He's doing it to make money.
Same
It's
as
a
the other three.
business. He has employees to pay.
Same
If
as
he
the other
doesn't
three.
own his building, he has rent to pay. He
Same
has
as the other three.
insurance. So he cannot pay all of that, giving you a hookup.
Hello.
But the Negro, I'm telling you, there's something wrong with his thinking. There's something wrong with the way he thinks. The Negro will only go to that black business and ask for a hookup. Give it to me half price. Oh, you charging too? Now keep in mind, now he's charging the same thing as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You done bought 3 hot dogs from an Asian guy, the Arab guy, the
White
white man, and they charge the same price.
No lip service
You
whatsoever.
only have a problem when you get it from a black man. And once I started seeing y'all in action, it was at that point that I understood what my father meant by to this Negro, or excuse me, to this nigger. The white man's ice is always colder. His hot dogs are just a little bit better. There's just something about his hot dog. Well, wait a minute, he's using the same hot dogs that I'm using. He's using the same bun. He has the same condiments. He cooks them in the same temperature. They're the same hot dogs. No, it's just something about his hot dog. You know what? This black man can actually go to that white man and tell him, hey, listen, I want 10 of your hot dogs. Okay, I ain't got no problem with you. You want 10 of them? I'm gonna sell you 10 of them. And that black man can take those 10 hot dogs from the white man, put them in his case, and here come Bubba, Leroy, and Skillet. Now they don't know that this is the same hot dogs from the white man. And that Negro can sell those hot dogs to those Negroes. And they'll complain about it. Hey man, something about your hot dog, man. I don't know what it is. And I don't like your hot dog. I'm going across the street. And go across the street to this white man. Get the same hot dogs. Get the same hot dog.
It's called Stockholm Syndrome.
Oh, there's something about them hot dogs from that white man, bro. Them things are good. To this nigga, his ice is always colder.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand it until I became an adult and started dealing with y'all. And I find out there's not only something wrong with the way y'all think, y'all have an ability to gravitate towards individuals who absolutely have no respect for you. Y'all love that. Because if the Negro was to walk into that Arab man's shop and ask that Arab for that hot dog and give me a hookup, you know what the Arab gonna tell him? Get your black ass out my store.
Hello.
Now listen. Listen. Keep in mind now that his store is located in this Negro's community. That Negro walked past that same building walking to school for 12 years. Well, not for 12 years because he probably flunked. So let's say for 14 years, but that's a subject for another video. For 12 years, he walked past that store. And now the Arab got here yesterday. Opens up a hot dog shop in that same building in his hood that he's walked past for the last 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
And when he goes into that Arab man's shop and asks that Arab man, like he asked this Negro, can I get a hookup? Your prices are too high. That Arab is going to tell him, get your black ass out of my store. Mm-hmm. And then hold on, that ain't the end of it. That Arab can tell that Negro that at 8 o'clock in the morning. Do you know by noon, that Negro will be back in that store trying to give that Arab more of his money? There's something wrong with the way you people think.
Mm-hmm.
But
God rest his soul.
It's deep.
Yes.
It's deeper.
Say it
It's
again,
even
black
deeper
man.
than a store
Rest
thing.
his soul.
It's like when you even tell them, like, man,
You told no lies, and what that gentleman just
Hold on,
described
let
to
him
you all.
Let him tell it.
No, go ahead, AL. I'll let my elder go. Go ahead.
Okay.
What that gentleman just described to you all, like he said, we can't understand it. What does it understand? It's called Stockholm syndrome. That's why the white man's ice always tastes better to you Negroes in your mind. Because guess what? In your mind, you sitting here relying on every facet of every day in your life for him to appease you, accommodate you, entertain you. If not, what you gonna do? Twiddle your thumbs? No. Get like the old people used to. Get to invent your own stuff. Get to running your own stuff. Appreciate your own stuff. And guess what? If he don't want to come to your side of town and affiliate with you, cool. You don't have to necessarily want to always go across his side of town to be near him. Or what is it? You know what it is. Like I said, Stockholm syndrome. You got to be near him. You got to be near your oppressor. Because if you can't, you act like you physically don't know how to act and conduct yourself and to think. That requires thought. Oh, that's too much work. So we just go rely on being in this Stockholm syndrome and acting like the white man's ice always tastes better and keep perpetuating it. That's what we've been doing. Nothing more, nothing less. But I digress. I pass the mic.
But I just want to point out. So think about it. If we would have if we wouldn't have been if we would have still, what is it called, segregation? That's when we was by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We would have been stuck with them people. Think about that. The brothers knowing that they wasn't just like this in integration. They were like this before integration.
No, we were literally trying to weed them out, though. That's the thing.
No, I'm saying this. Listen, think about this. There was black men that were cooks at the white man's restaurant. And black people would be dying to try to be the black people to go into the white man restaurant and spend $5 on the same chicken that the black man trying to sell on the block for $2 that he got from the white man. It's the same thing Mr. Carroll was just talking about.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. If we stayed integrated with those people, see, integration integrated us with the world because everybody don't think like this. That's the trick, and the key is that this is particular because of something we're going through. Everybody don't think like this. That's why they have metropolitan super cities where every culture in the world is at. Like, everybody don't think like, okay, just because this brother is from my place, I'm supposed to give him less. Like, that's something particular to these group of people that we were stuck with. Like, the people that'll take, like, some of us would have went and marched with the brothers at the civil rights movement. And everybody fights to fight their own way. I'm not going to judge no black person for how they choose to live their life. But I think learning about the civil rights movement, we understand that was a very small group of us, right? And that small group made a big impact for everybody. But we can see the detriment of it is when the leaders of that died, the whole movement died. It was a couple charismatic individuals and a small group of people that took to it. The rest of the people wasn't really trying to hear that, other than that it benefited them to get the stuff that the brothers fought for.
I say that about our store. When we shut our doors, the landscape of Black society completely changed. It just went right back. It went worse. If it was at a 10, out of a 20, it went to a negative 2.
Do you remember that scene from A Soldier Story?
Which scene?
You know wait, I got it right up here. Hold on. You know the damage one ignorant Negro can do?
Oh yeah.
Oh, when Sarge was giving his spiel. Yeah.
I have that up right now.
Yeah, but see, that within itself, okay. Like G was asking the question, posing the question. Why would we want to still be in that situation? That's the situation Sarge was getting at. He was trying to be the upright, upstanding soldier and trying to pull himself up out of the muck and the mire while facing all forms of the discrimination. But yet and still, he sees the shucking and jiving brother who's just happy to be there, happy to have a pair of boots, happy to have a uniform on, just there, getting his three hots in a cot, and not understanding, okay, look, you're where you at because of all the detriment I had to go through. But you being here, I despise it, in which I'm not saying it's right, but this is the mentality that we was carrying amongst ourselves that led to this, all right, that situation that he also described with. You got a few who trying to do right, but you got the masses who just sitting back, give me, I want the handout, I want this, I want that, no matter what. I mean, that's the conundrum of it all. You got Negroes who want to do right, Negroes that don't want to do right, but they got us all lumped up amongst ourselves. And this is when I was trying to hit the G while ago. Well, we were at a point where we were trying to weed out these type of Negroes and keep our most prominent, forthright, good thinking Negroes in this era. But yet and still, you had those Negroes who were, all right, you got lesser than Negroes versus the more higher educated ones. You needed to find a way to mesh the two together, but yet and still, they were clashing and fighting. That kept this in a situation of where at this point it's a total abomination, because once they put one word, 3 letters into a sentence, into a bill, sex, they ran hog wild. They realized, okay, we don't have to listen, we don't have to communicate, we don't have to participate. We're gonna use this new word. It's called choice. I got a choice. And it's no more having to listen to my elder or listen to. So this is what you get. All this it balls up into that Stockholm syndrome. The white man's ice tastes better theories. All of it does. You cannot run away from this. It is what it is. All right. Like us on the panel, we're high level thinking, thoughtful, bright, articulate, well spoken, analytical minded men. Can you go outside of your residence or wherever you at right now and find you 10 other like-minded individuals such as ourselves? Just grab them up right now. Men, you can't. Why? Because they have melted us into, you're going to think like this, you're going to move like this. We have been indoctrinated to do this. So guess what? You're stuck in the muck and the mire with us, crabs in the barrel syndrome mentality, and we're not going to let go. And we don't care how we do it to bring you down via proxy violence from the mother, the sister, the daughter, the nieces, or we just leave you at the whim of having lack of knowledge because we didn't want to partake and give it to you and instill it in you. And we shunned it from you, like G was saying, to the point where, all right, I'm an aimless walking vessel going through this world trying to figure it out. And as I'm trying to figure it out, I done effed up. Let me try again. Oh, I done effed up here. Let me try again. Oh, I done effed up here. I'm trying again. This is all, we're stumbling through the dark as black men of mankind, period. And everybody wants to, like I said, I center the blame on one group of people. I didn't say I didn't love them, but I don't like them. And I don't like them because of what they've done. They chose, they made a choice to do this to us and to get on the coattails of white women. And all the while knowing that the white man and the white woman were being diabolical and screwing you every step of the way. But it's okay. It's okay. As long as we get ours. So says the women of Fox Soul told Ice Cube. As long as we're subset, we're not like you. We're not. White man had told us for 60 years, we're more important than you. So guess what? Deal with it. But guess what? We've been showing you. By the way, we turned our backs, we voted in our own best interest, and we're allowing what's going on in today's society to take place. And guess what? We're not shedding a tear. We don't care. And guess what? In the mortal words of the master educator, shout out to BGS. Let this shit burn. At this point, let it burn down. This is Earth. It will recreate itself. From the ashes, the phoenix shall rise again. Let it be. We overthink this stuff too much. They have put us in a situation now to the point where, guess what? Let it go. But guess what? It's too many of us who've been in this gynocracy pattern hole mindset. We got to feel some way for our mamas. We got to feel some way for our sisters. We got to feel some way for our daughters, our nieces. What about them? No. At a certain point in your life, you got to start moving and thinking in a black pill manner and fashion. I'm not saying it's right, gentlemen, but you must come to a point in your life where you have to understand they put us in a no-win situation.
And that's why I want to say to AL, like, I love women. I don't think women are evil or bad. I think that they're women. And I think a lot of us as black men, we were miseducated on top of the abuse we got too. We got abused though. Don't get it messed up. We did get abused.
Like, a lot of trauma.
Yeah, we did get abused, but we got abused by, like, we know it came there, but we got abused from everybody. Not just the women, but from the men, from our men, from their men, from Mexican men. We just got abused in certain ways, in certain situations with everything.
Your worst abuser is the person that you thought loved you.
Yeah, and that's okay. But that's okay. Like we could grow past that because they're just people. They're just people, man. We got to grow past it because they're just people, and they're not evil. They're not. They're our mothers. They're our sisters. They're our aunts. And listen, and they're just human.
Well, let's be honest. There are some evil,
and that's okay. And listen, some of us come from evil people, bro. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
Some of us come from drug addicts. Some of us come from doctors. Some of us come from engineers. But some of us come from murderers.
Violent households.
Yeah.
Neglectful households.
But it doesn't really matter.
Abusive households, be it psychological, emotional, whatever.
Yeah. Hey, babe, I'm about to step down. I'll catch you later.
All right. It was good having you up.
AB. All right.
Catch you another night.
But that's the thing. That's why integration was so perfect, because it brought us into the world. Now we've been segregated. We gave you your little black pocket for you to get the confidence to understand that you can achieve everything you want to achieve. Integrate and go to the world, black man. And I'm gonna get up out of here with that. Peace.
It was good having you, G. Good having you. All right. So what's going on, International J? You've been super quiet. Did he go to sleep? I know Charles is unconscious.
What's up?
Look, you sound like you rolling off the couch. What's up? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, bro. How about yourself?
I'm good. You just rolling with us, or you ready to like verbally contribute?
I'm just here, man. I'm just here. If I hear something, I want to chime in, I'll raise my hand.
All right.
But it's funny because when I was listening, it's funny sometimes you'll listen to a panel, and by the time you get on that sucker, the topic then totally changed on
It will morph and go its own way anytime. It just don't matter.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Lewis, you want to play that real quick so we can get back to this Joy Reid situation?
You could put it down. I don't know if we're gonna get, because they got the thing from the movie.
Yeah, it might mess us up. All right, I'll play it. All right, let's get back to this, y'all. Let's get back to this.
Yeah, her ratings sucked.
Understand this is the Joy Reid crash out party right now. Okay, so to get y'all back up on what's going on.
And boy,
Only
my
people that
give
watched her was black folks. Was primarily black folks, and they only make up what 12% of the country, and far left progressive black folks.
Joy Reid has opened the door for so many other black hosts. Tiffany Cross.
I think she closed the door for a lot of black people.
Gave her a show, and because a white man said something and she battled back against him, basically.
Hey man, how long is this dude gonna go?
Y'all took her show.
Relax.
This is why I always say we need our own network.
You do, BET.
That is 100% African American owned, because Joy Reid needs a space where she can say exactly what she wants to say without having to wonder if she's going to be censored. Because
she's been saying whatever she want to say for I don't know how many years. She lost her show because her ratings suck, and she's a liar. Yeah, her commentary is always racism. Yeah. She called Trump and his administration Hitler. Yeah, that woman cost y'all the election. She's one of the women that cost y'all election. That same ideology, that same nonsense she was spewing every day. Yeah, people hip to what y'all doing on mainstream media. Y'all just lie.
I thought this was free speech. She educated a lot of folks.
He doesn't know what freedom of speech means. He don't know what education means. He indoctrinated. Roy indoctrinated y'all. Roy Reid. Not Joy Reid. That's Roy right there.
Including me. She helped me to really see the importance of watching some type of political news so that you are not so far out from what's going on in the real world. It's a sad day.
Yeah.
Sad day. Don Lemon is gone.
Thank you.
Joy Reid.
This message is for Joy Reid. I just heard that MSNBC just canceled your show. Please tell us where you're going to be. We will follow you, whether it's YouTube, some other platform that we don't even know about. You tell us where you are, and we will support you. Go support Joy Reid. She is out here telling the truth. MSNBC, count your days, folks, because you just lost the real one. Joy Reid, wherever you go, we will follow you. You let us know the platform, and we will be there to support you.
You know what's funny? When she goes to that new platform, especially YouTube, you're going to see how she sucks. Her views are going to suck. Nobody's going to follow her. No network's going to pick her up. She ruined her own reputation. She burned her own bridges by pretty much just lying to American people. Yeah. She'd go to CNN. Nope. She's not going to Fox. Where's she going? BET? Nobody watches BET. BET don't want her. You're going to see her real numbers when she go to YouTube. Yeah.
YouTube
numbers
is
don't
a
lie.
great equalizer. Let's be honest.
Well, I don't know. I think those videos on TikTok.
All right. Let's be honest. YouTube is the great equalizer. You see how...
Facts.
Yeah. You see how Don Lemon, how his numbers suck, not just on YouTube, but he's mainly an X guy. He's mainly on X, and his numbers suck. Every time he posts a video or whatnot, the negative comments just outweigh the positive. Just like with The View, you go on YouTube where they post clips of The View, and the negative comments just flooded. And from what I understand, The View, they just had to shake up. And do understand, these are the reason why I'm posting this, and then what I'm about to post next, because these are the people that the Democratic coons, this is what they listen to. Now, I'm not a Hodge Twins fan, and I'm not insulting them or anything like that. Like, occasionally, they might post a story that I might find interesting, because they are comedians, let's be honest. I mean, their comedy isn't everybody's cup of tea, but, they can be funny in their own right. But you don't. How can I say this? You don't hang on to every word that these people say. You don't take what they say, and I'm speaking in general. You don't take what they say as gospel. That's why I can agree, as you saw tonight, and y'all saw yesterday and other days or whatnot. We can agree to disagree without getting into an argument because we're not a monolith, correct?
Yep.
Right. But you have some people that'll defend other people's opinion to the death. And it's like, how do you not come out of your bubble and realize that these people, that they're not correct? They're like just completely wrong. Okay, let's get to it. Let's just get to it. Let me stop.
This isn't just about.
And this comes to us courtesy of Vince Dow. All right, it's an Asian guy. Oh, I thought I was subscribed to him. All right.
Food.
No, it's not.
This is sometimes people are born genetically larger.
Agreed. I didn't mean to.
No, I know you didn't. But I want to say this to RFK. That's his name. Because you're setting folks up for shame.
Yeah,
that's what you're trying. Maybe you don't know you're doing. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say you don't know, you don't realize what you do to people when you say stuff like that, because it doesn't work for everybody. And I'm going to show you, sir, because I weighed close to 300 less than 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And without the Mounjaro, this would not have happened. There you go.
Take it off.
Because she's a lazy witch. She's a lazy witch like most Americans. You don't want to work out. You don't want to put in the effort. You don't want to do anything. You want a gastro bypass surgery like my egg donor, or you want them to lipo suck this out or lipo suck that out and think that's the way, or get the BBL this or the BBL that. No, it's called old fashioned. Go get your ass in the gym. Go sweat, go work, go run around a goddamn track 5 or 6 laps a day, do some push-ups, do some sit-ups, do some exercises, and work out. But no, because y'all want to say, I'm morbidly obese this, I'm morbidly obese that, oh, it's my metabolism, oh, it's my thyroid. This gives you the excuse not to do anything and just think, oh, a doctor can fix it, a pill can fix it. No, you're just freaking lazy. That's all it is to it. So guess what, Whoopi? I feel nothing.
What you know what? I mean, you summed it up, but basically what she's saying is she's against RFK. I mean, I'm gonna let the segment play, but I just want to say that she's against RFK being in the position that he's in because he wants to take the drugs and chemicals out of the food, drugs, chemicals, and preservatives and additives and whatnot out of the food. And if you look at the side-by-side comparison between food in the UK and Canada that we get here in America, like our ingredients, you can see it on like the whole thumb, but their ingredients is like the first pinky knuckle. It's natural ingredients for the most part. That's why Americans are larger and fatter. You wonder why black women are very heavy. It's because of their diet. They eat a lot of empty calories, potato chips, soda pop, fast food, junk food. All right. They eat a lot of garbage, a whole lot of meats, not a lot. And the stuff is just filled with chemicals, hormones and chemicals and whatnot. And RFK's whole job is to reduce that, which would also help the healthcare industry, because if you're eating healthier, you're not getting sick a lot. Cancer suddenly drops. Diabetes suddenly drops. Okay? These things, all of these health problems that we get because of our diet, they drop.
All right, guys. Well, today we got to give you a very interesting update on the high IQ, totally intelligent, definitely not stupid, PhD award-winning Nobel Prize scientist, otherwise known as the ladies of The View. That is right. And apparently things are not looking so good over at that TV show. Essentially what is happening here is The View is imploding from within, and there's a lot of internal drama. There are mass layoffs. And first of all, I just cannot imagine why. Like, what possible reason, guys, could there be on earth as to why The View is having problems with legal issues as well as ratings, right? Nobody's watching the show because, I was just under the impression that obviously the ladies of The View are just so stunning and intelligent. Like, who could possibly not want to listen to Whoopi Goldberg talk about politics? I just don't understand it, because when it comes to an issue like, let's say, Donald Trump, right? I'm just a normal person. I'm just an ordinary low IQ peasant. I really wasn't sure what I thought about the president, but then I heard Whoopi Goldberg explain it to me. And as someone who, like her, is just one of the brightest political minds in the country, then I was like, oh, Whoopi, you're so much smarter than me. Now I understand. Okay, thank you for that. No, in all seriousness, we got to give you the actual story. I'm not just going to just troll or be sarcastic for the whole video, because that is true, right? There is apparently, according to page 6, massive tension mounting at The View as hosts are asked to dial back Trump criticisms. There are also layoffs going on, and the quote here is that morale is low. So we're going to tell you about this hilarious story here today because apparently The View is it's on its last legs, right? The ratings are going down. They're struggling. They're being pushed to apparently very crappy buildings and whatnot. But first, guys, do us a big favor. If you enjoy the content, if you enjoy the coverage, hit that like button down below and subscribe if you are new.
That reminds me, y'all be sure to post y'all links in the chat so we can get your cross audience going.
Hit the like button, subscribe, support your black male interests, please.
Right, yeah, throw y'all links in the chat so that way everybody can, get up with you or whatnot. Because, we're not trying to be haters. We all want to share audiences, everything, because those of us that's up here, we don't live off of YouTube, but we're not trying to live off of YouTube. We're just like-minded brothers, but let's get to this.
And why should you subscribe? Well, look, guys, I understand I'm not like a bright political mind in the way that Whoopi Goldberg is just so enlightened, but nonetheless, I'm trying my best, okay? I strive every day to be as brilliant and just articulate and as genius on politics as Whoopi. So help us get there by hitting that red button. No, but in all seriousness, guys, Whoopi Goldberg's just so amazing. She's a professional firefighter. She's a scientist. These are all things she's implied, by the way. She, is also a working class American at the same time. She knows how we feel. I mean, she's just such an amazing individual. I just feel so sorry for her. I'm like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do without The View, guys? How will democracy survive without Sonny Hostin and Whoopi Goldberg? Unbelievable. Okay, but let's read you this news story here today. So the talk show hosts on The View are apparently being pressured to tone down their criticism of President Trump after ABC's latest round of layoffs, the Post reported on Friday. An insider close to Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sonny Hostin, Sarah Haynes, Alyssa Farah Griffin, and Anna Navarro exclusively told the Post that, quote, morale is low as cost cutting continues. Now, what is going on here? I think these two stories are actually combined. So on one hand, the ABC bosses are telling The View that they have to stop being so Trump deranged. And on the other hand, you're seeing mass layoffs. Well, I think there's multiple angles here, but the first thing we obviously cannot ignore is that it seems to me that The View is basically bracing for mass legal trouble, because essentially what goes on here is they go around and slander people all day, and then you have Sonny Hostin, as I'm sure everyone has seen, on like several different shows, is being forced to read legal notes like this. And I have to imagine, I don't know, maybe there's a connection there, right?
How could you nominate someone with allegations of child trafficking across state lines and having the 17-year-old? My understanding further on in the interview, they discussed the fact that once he finds out that she's 17, he stops having sex with her.
Sonny, you have a legal note.
I do have a legal note. Thank you, Whoopi. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented. and saying in a statement to ABC News that this false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism. That DOJ investigation was closed with no charges being brought.
I have a legal note. A Trump aide said that the former president was not claiming that he was going to seek retribution against his political opponents, but attempting to make the point that a new precedent had been.
One quick second. Jibber jabber, yeah, they never filed a case. They didn't have a claim because she never named them directly. So there was no case.
Eddie's doing this to me. Had been set by the Biden Department of Justice.
So I don't know, just to be clear, I'm purely speculating here, but it does seem on one hand like there might be a little bit of a connection there, right? The ABC bosses are saying, look, stop being so Trump deranged, stop being so insane and delusional, because we keep having these problems and you might cost us with a lawsuit, right? So is that what is going on right now? Is The View basically bracing for potentially being sued? And that's also why they're trying to cut down on costs, because they're like, hey, we might have to foot the bill for something very bad right now. And the show, again, is just like basically on its last legs. They're in major trouble. Who knows? But it is worth noting that the business, the network that owns The View, ABC, recently had to deal with this exact issue over at George Stephanopoulos. So I don't know, maybe they're thinking the same thing might happen here.
We have breaking news. ABC News and George Stephanopoulos have reached a settlement with President-elect Trump in his defamation lawsuit. The network agrees to pay $15 million as a charitable contribution to Trump's presidential library. ABC and Stephanopoulos will also issue statements of regret as an editor's note to the March 2024 article and television segment that prompted Trump to file the lawsuit earlier this year. Trump sued Stephanopoulos after he asserted in an interview that Trump was found, quote, liable for rape in a civil case, despite the fact that a jury actually determined Trump was liable for, quote, sexual abuse, which has a distinct definition.
So who knows? Maybe the legal issues have something to do with it. But of course, let's also not ignore the obvious elephant in the room, which is the other reason they're facing layoffs is simply because the ratings suck, right? Nobody wants to watch The View anymore. I'm frankly astonished that the show even manages to still be on the air. But, you know, with declining ratings, you obviously have to cut back on costs. And I just once again reiterate, I just cannot imagine why more of the American public does not want to sit back and listen to such high IQ, brilliant, and insightful political commentary such as this. It's just so sad. It's just unbelievable.
Up with it.
Well,
and by the way, egg prices are supposed to come down, not airplanes.
Well, let me say someplace that could really use a lot of cutting. You know, Elon has very many, what do you call it?
Government contracts?
Yeah. I think, because I don't remember, maybe y'all heard it, but I don't remember looking for an armored car. And I don't remember, I don't care what it looks like. I remember asking for it. I don't know why I'm paying for it.
Yeah.
I want to know, when did I say, hey, we need another agency next to NASA?
Yeah.
So when did we start paying for his stuff?
About SpaceX overseeing FAA?
No. You know that he's going to be cutting NASA.
Yeah.
That's the competition. There was a fire catastrophe in California. Had to do with winds. You know how they're always saying, oh, the wind. It actually does. The winds move things and sparks move things. And it doesn't matter how much water you have if 900,000 buildings go up at the same time. Now, having lived in California, having lost every house save for one that we ever lived in, I take great offense at pointing fingers. You should be pointing fingers about how can we help?
Yeah.
It's too soon to be saying, oh, it's Gavin's fault. It's nobody's fault. It's like us taking seriously that there are, magic lasers in the sky that direct the weather. That doesn't work.
Well, Whoopi, when you put it like that it doesn't make sense. But again, I just can't believe why no one wants to listen to this show anymore. It's just a big mystery. I don't know. Anyone want to give the answer in the comment section? I mean, I'm not sure about, guys. But anyways, nonetheless, okay, let's go on here because apparently there's internal drama going on in between the divas on The View. Apparently, sources also disclosed that the mood on set is growing tense after the show's executive producer, Brian Tata, asked staffers to go easy on the Trump-related conversations ahead of the 47th president's inauguration last month. So, apparently that's a live look at them. I mean, look at their faces, okay? You have Whoopi Goldberg explaining, the winds move things. Joy Behar is like, oh, but Donald Trump is this. Sonny Hostin is like, all white people are so bad, and here's my insightful take. Alyssa Farah Griffin is just like airheaded as usual. So anyways, there you go. Anyways, despite the show's nearly 2.6 million total viewers in the last 4 weeks, so apparently 2 million people are sitting down to listen to Whoopi Goldberg explain how the winds move things, and, it doesn't matter how much water you have when you're fighting a fire. So, I don't know, that's America for you, but nonetheless, staffers are terrified for their jobs. Staffers are terrified for their jobs after Tata laid off at least 9 workers, including 2 senior female producers, Jamie Hammer and Audrey Jones, one insider shared. So you have a little bit of irony there that, as every single day, The View melts down over Doge and explains why everything they're doing is so bad. Meanwhile, you have the Department of The View efficiency, because they're actually cutting down on staff as we speak. But how dare Elon Musk do that? But apparently, what the insider source is saying is, quote, people were shocked that he'd fired such experienced, well-respected producers, the source said, adding that morale is low. Well, dang, I just feel so bad for them. I just can't buy why? I mean, that's just so horrible. The insider claimed that everybody is waiting for the other shoe to drop, despite the firings being a part of the parent company Disney's wider cost-cutting initiative in October. So there you have it. And by the way, I want to point out, okay, if there was widespread talk of, hey, maybe cut down on the Donald Trump criticism, it has not exactly resonated with the host because, we have stuff like this from Sonny Hostin.
Yeah, I'm not going to dignify his remarks about DEI. I'm not going to do that. But to Anna's point, just last week, Trump fired the heads of the Transportation Security Administration and Coast Guard, and he also eliminated all the members of a key aviation security advisory group. The Aviation Security Committee will technically continue to exist, but it won't have any members to carry out the work of examining safety issues at airlines and airports. I think that is very telling.
So in the back room, they're saying, hey, guys, maybe tone down the Trump criticism.
This shows where they're either disingenuous or their research staff is stupid.
It's their research staff. That's why those executives got fired.
Because one, now I'm talking about the show, The View.
That's what I'm saying. That's why their research the executives got fired.
The head of the transportation agency and the admiral that's in charge of the Coast Guard is a political position. They are put in by the president, who aligns with their worldview and political ideology. Just like when Barack Obama became president, he fired over 140 generals. His first day in office, Barack Hussein Obama fired over 140 generals. Why? Because those generals were put in by George W. Bush.
And we saw what happened with that.
The military positions, your 4-star positions and heads of all departments are political positions. Just like when a mayor takes head of the city, he puts his own fire chief in, he puts his own police chief in, he puts his own head of sanitation in, his own head of commerce collection, public safety, and on and on.
It's no different. It's no different. You ready to go
Yeah,
back?
they're pulling off of emotions and the ignorance. I would say it's the ignorance of the general public, because the general public really does not know how the military and how these positions operate. I'll let go of the mic.
No, it's fine. It's just, they're so worried about, they're so racially charged in what they call TDS, and now what they call it EDS, for Elon derangement syndrome, that it's killing their viewership. And what they're saying, let's just be honest. You saw what happened with the AP, the Associated Press. All right, they got kicked out of the press room. All right, they got kicked out because they didn't want to call the Gulf of America the Gulf of America. They kept calling it the Gulf of Mexico. And you heard what Carolyn Levitt said, the White House press secretary. If you're going to sit up here and print false information, you're not welcome here. You're not welcome here. Stop. We're not going to let you get away with lying.
It's the Gulf of America.
Right. ABC, I guarantee you that they get their funding through the government. I bet you they through Disney. I guarantee it. Plus, the money is drying up too. People are tired of you lying. You, as a business, you have to change up your whole strategy. That's why you fire a Joy Reid. This is why you try to get more bang from your buck from what's the lesbian chick's name? Rachel Maddow. $25 million a year. You really think you're gonna You really think you're gonna work 4 days a month at $25 million, girl? I will lock you in a men's prison myself and let them draw straws every week.
They ain't gonna touch her. They ain't gonna touch her. That's Rachel Maddow. Look at her. She look like a dude. They want a boy.
Please,
they want a boy.
Look, not everybody in there is on some I like you and I want you. What is that dude's name?
Fleece Johnson.
Fleece Johnson, yeah. I like you and I want you. So you got two choices.
Look, that's 3 holes, no waiting, okay? Anyway, let's get back to this. But yeah, those people that got fired, because they were the ones, they were the reasons why Sonny Holston was reading legal notes.
Yep.
Because of misinformation, they're pushing it out there.
Let's chill out a little bit, and then Sonny Hostin goes on TV. The plane crashes are Donald Trump's fault. So they're doing a great job. I don't know. You might have to read a legal note about that one, Sonny. But nonetheless, meanwhile, the Post has learned that the show's co-hosts are disgruntled over the fact that they are sharing a studio and dressing room with Tamron Hall's show in ABC's new headquarters. Okay. An insider close to the situation said the ladies of The View are unhappy that their guests have to share a dressing room with the other show's guests and that the set must be treated as a shared space. So essentially what's happening here is just complete divas, the Hollywood mindset of like, how dare you, do you know who I am? You can't treat me this way, right? So that's how they are acting, which frankly is a little bit surprising to me that they would act with such divas, because after all, as we all know, Whoopi Goldberg is a working class American. She knows how it feels to, be in the working class, living paycheck to paycheck. So I'm not exactly sure. I can't possibly imagine why she would be so upset. I thought she's used to this, guys.
I'm sorry. When you have one candidate who has been running for 12 years, who lies and changes things, I appreciate that people are having a hard time. Me too.
Yeah.
I work for a living. If I had all the money in the world, I would not be here. Okay? So I'm a working person, and my kid has to feed her family, and my great-granddaughter has to be fed by her family. I know it's hard out there, but I also know that there are a lot of things that we just said, no, I'm just going to go this way.
Right.
And a lot of that is also what happened. I love what she did. Yay.
So wait, is Whoopi saying that her Sister Act money and Ghost money ran out?
Oh, of course it did. You know that ran out
Well, right.
years ago.
She's still getting those residuals from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Who the hell is? Well, you know what? Them residuals, you know, they're like something like $75.
Star Trek,
$20. Yeah, because Star Trek is a dead franchise. They killed that franchise. It's a dead franchise now. That's why they're trying to sell. I think, who are they under? Universe? No, Paramount. They're trying to sell Paramount to this company.
And wasn't she on the new one, Picard?
I don't know, because it's a dead franchise. But they're trying to sell the franchise in order to get rid of the Alex Kurtzman contract, because he's the one that's killing it. So that in order to get rid of his contract, you have to sell it, and then you can fire him, even though you have to give him a buyout package. But it's just easier to give him the buyout package and try to revive the franchise. Same thing with Star Wars. It's in the same shape, if not worse. It's in the same shape, if not worse. So residuals, them residual checks, man, please. People find that money in their couch.
You know, we talk to people all the time.
Yeah, so I mean, literally, like, she's literally a working class American, Whoopi freaking Goldberg. So, you know, she understands how you feel, but allegedly she's mad that she has to like share the room with another show. Oh my, I just feel so sorry. She's a working class. The struggles of everyday working class Americans, guys. She's so ridiculous. But yeah, you know, you listen to imagine. I cannot imagine the work environment is very good in a place where the employees are Whoopi Goldberg, Anna Navarro, Sunny Hostin, Alyssa Farah Griffin, Joy Behar, and whoever the rotating other people are. Like, just wow. You mean to tell me that it's like a firecracker and they're never going to get along eventually and there's going to be issues? So, I mean, I'm just shocked to find that out. Anyways, staffers therefore cannot leave their belongings. So anyways, further anxieties. The shows have allegedly been quarreling over taping schedules, which are sometimes known to overlap. So essentially, like, to sum it up, what's happening here is ABC is moving The View to almost the ghetto, right? Like, hey, you guys are not important enough. You have to share a set. You're not being treated like A+ list celebrities. You're only like A- list, you know, like, and they're just very upset about this because, again, there are a bunch of entitled divas, and there's this whole apparently drama about all of that. As Page Six previously reported, ABC News has moved the majority of its shows to New York City's downtown Hudson Square neighborhood, dubbed by staffers as, quote, no man's land. So they're like, wow, we're only in downtown New York City. I don't know Hudson Square. Okay, I haven't been to New York that many times, but it's just like, oh my gosh, the horror of this, you know? We're not in the middle of Manhattan, Times Square. I'm not sure. I don't know. Anyways, on top of having to share the space, employees must deal with the heavy traffic surrounding by the nearby Holland Tunnel. Oh my gosh, they have to drive into traffic every day. Gosh. You know, but I thought they're working class Americans. You know, they should know all about this. It should not be surprising, you know, but apparently that's the horror. The morale at The View is low because people have to drive in traffic and they have to like share a studio.
They'll get over it.
She knows how. Whoopi Goldberg just knows just how you feel. Okay, those of you out there that, you know, I don't know, maybe you lay pipes for a living, you're welders, whatever it is. I mean, isn't that so relatable? You're just like Whoopi Goldberg, literally. There are not a lot of desks. People just get drawers, and there are signed lockers and inside are shared. The new office is very basic. Oh my gosh, the offices, they work in a normal office. The horror of this, guys. There isn't enough space or offices. There are no executive suites, just regular sized offices. Oh my gosh, guys, there's no executive suites. This is why morale is low at The View. They don't have executive suites. I just can't believe this. I mean,
I don't think they understand that they're probably maybe about 3 months away from being canceled. Do they not get that?
No, you being nice. I say weeks. The writing's on the wall. We just, who did we just not cover today that just got put on the chopping block and we've been going hooray for? Guess what? America is sick and tired of these entitled DEI helpers. Period.
They're done. They're done. They just don't know that they're. I mean, let me fast forward. I understand he's giving his opinion, but let's fast forward a little bit.
Have had to be more cautious about the way they discuss politics when it comes to Trump. Last month, apparently, one person said she fell out of touch with her viewers because she and her co-host did not vote for Trump. You got Alyssa Farah Griffin going on to cry, and I don't know. There you have it, guys. That's a situation over at The View.
Says Griffin, a former Donald Trump staffer who ended up endorsing Kamala Harris in 2024 presidential race, also clashed with Goldberg when she tried to convince her to be more open to engaging in conversations with the other side. Democrats have to be willing to go to uncomfortable spaces, Griffin said at the time, and to agreeing with some of Trump's policies. Because in all honesty, the Democrats, they're speaking about, some of them in their leadership is saying, hey, we need to go on conservative shows in order to try to win over some of their audience members. And of course, Jasmine Crockett was like, well, these people are going to believe whatever they want to believe. And I'm like, yes, just like the people that watch CNN and The View and the people that listen to you, they're going to believe whatever the hell they want to believe, and they don't want to listen to the other side.
Well,
and this is
you
like,
know when they go on other sides, right? When their team is winning.
Oh, the gloat.
Yeah, the gloat. Yeah.
Yeah.
When their team is winning, that's when they go on other sides to bash on the other team. The only one that's really ahead of the curve, and I hate to give them credit, is TYT. When it comes,
they lost a lot of viewers, but I think that's because a lot of the viewership that they were getting came out of Kamala's pocket.
Yeah,
that 1.2 billion. How the hell you go $20 million in debt because you pay for internet promotion? You make it seem like there's a groundswell of people who believe in what you are saying through comments and whatnot, and subscriptions and everything. But really, like I said, right after the election, a lot of people's numbers dropped, like on November 6th. A lot of profiles just disappeared on November 6th. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Did I cut you off?
No, not at all.
All right. So we're going to play this where Joy was defending pedophilia.
LGBTQ parents and parents of LGBTQ kids, do they have parental rights?
Every parent, Joy. Every parent means every parent has the fundamental right to direct the upbringing of their children.
And liberal parents? Do liberal parents have those rights as well?
All parents. Sure.
So let me point you to some statistics, because the question becomes then who gets to decide what all kids get to read. The Washington Post took a look at about 1,000 plus book challenges that were filed, and they found that they were filed nationwide by just 11 people. Each of these people brought 10 or more challenges against books in their school district. Together, these serial filers constituted 6% of all book challengers, but they were responsible for 60% of filings. In Florida, Tampa Bay Times, they found that of roughly 1,100 complaints recorded in Florida since July 2022, we're talking about more than 700 just from two counties, Escambia in the Western Panhandle and Clay County. Together, those are less than 3% of the public school enrollment, 600 of those complaints, 2 people. Why should 13 people get to decide what books tens of thousands of children get to read?
Well, I'm thinking it's probably because those 13 people saw what some of the content was in the books. I mean, explicit, graphic, sexual content. And I'm happy to talk about some of that content if you'd like to.
Well, this is the question again. The books that are being banned, I want to give you just
No
some.
books are being banned.
No, hold on a second.
Well, no, Joy,
Leah.
but I want to be clear. No
Uh-huh.
one's banning books. Write the book, print the book, publish the book, put the book in the public library, sell the book, right? We're talking about a public school library. Children don't have unfettered access to the internet at school. I did a FOIA records request, and I wanted to see what kinds of internet sites are banned in schools, if we're going to talk about banning, right? And the subject matter in the books that moms are concerned about are the same things that kids don't have access to on the internet. So it just feels very hypocritical, right? No, why is no one out there protesting for, free the internet in schools?
Let me give you an example of some of the books that have been removed from shelves as a result of the activities of organizations like Moms for Liberty.
We're not going to talk like Moms for Liberty. We're going to talk
And
specifically
Moms for
Moms
Liberty.
for Liberty.
Absolutely.
So
Because PEN America-
I'm happy to have this conversation with you, Joy.
Absolutely.
But we're going to be specific about the actions of Moms for Liberty.
Oh, 100%.
Because I can't be possibly responsible for every
Sure.
single parent
But
in America,
your
right?
organization is the lead. You're the leading organization that's doing this. You have chapters all over the country, and other organizations are following your lead. And PEN America has listed, they have posted the list of books that have been removed from shelves as a result of these activities. Let me just read you a couple of them. Anne Frank's A Diary of a Young Girl. Mouse, which is a book about the Holocaust, a graphic novel. Genderqueer, a memoir. All Boys Aren't Blue. Beloved, Martin Luther King Jr. and the March on Washington. Ruby Bridges Goes to School. Slaughterhouse 5, The Color Purple, Forever by Judy Blume. I could go on. These are books that are not only popular, in some cases are classics. Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye. Let me give you an example.
Well, I'd like to answer your question.
Please do. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just mentioned a list of books. And so Moms for Liberty doesn't have like a national book list. There was never a list of books that we put out and said, parents, be concerned about these books, right? We didn't do it because we want our parents to be effective advocates. So when moms are going into the libraries in the schools, when they're seeing what their children have access to, when they go to speak to the superintendent or the principal, they have accurate information, right? They're
And where are
effective
they getting their
advocates.
information from?
You can just go online to a catalog in your children's library, and you can see what
Without
books are
reading the
available.
books. What is one moment? What is booklooks.com?
I'm aware of a website called booklooks.com where parents can go and see some of the books that other parents are concerned about.
Booklooks.com has been used in Florida extensively in counties like, I used to live in Broward County. I lived there for 14 years.
Okay.
In counties like Broward, counties like Clay, counties like Escambia, Moms for Liberty activists are using booklooks.com. And it's essentially a cliff notes for books.
Yeah.
So you go through without even having to read the book. I'm going to just hold it up so our audience can see what it looks like. This is the one for All Boys Aren't Blue, which is one of the books Moms for Liberty has pushed
Everyone
to have
should
removed.
go and see the content in this book. That's such a good idea.
And so what
Joy.
happens is you can do keyword searches and find certain keywords.
Like rape.
You can find
or anal rape or dildo.
You can find
Those-
all
those
sorts
types
of
of
keywords.
words. But like,
wait,
so
hold on,
the-
wait. Let me finish my question.
Okay,
Then
great,
you can answer.
sure.
I'm going to give you time to answer, but I got to
Okay.
ask you first.
No, yeah, I got the
And so
question.
what you find is the keywords that you find, the N word, anything, words like you just used, then you'll get out of context passages from the book. And then based on that, Moms for Liberty members are going to places like Broward County School Board meetings, reading out of context passages from these books, and then demanding that the school board remove them.
So what's
that is the way.
question? Yeah.
The question I'm asking is, what is the expertise that you have and other Moms for Liberty advocates have to decide that a book, an award-winning book like All Boys Aren't Blue, isn't appropriate for students to read? What is your expertise?
What a tragic story of a young man who's anally raped by his adult family member. So you have incest, rape, pedophilia. Joy, you said you'd let me answer, so I'm going to answer
Please
for you. In what context is a strap-on dildo acceptable for public school? That's my question to you. Tell me what the context around the strap-on dildo or the rape of a minor child by a teacher.
Hold on a second.
No.
Wait,
We're
hold
talking
on.
about
No.
public school.
One moment.
All right.
So now you've asked me questions.
Sure.
I'm going to answer it.
Okay.
Well, who is the main character? What's the name of the main character in All Boys Aren't Blue?
You're asking me right now.
You just
to
gave
name-
me very specific information about this book, so you're presenting yourself as somebody expert.
It's the gentleman.
Hold on.
the main,
Who's the main character in the book?
The main character is the author.
What's his name?
George, I believe, is his first name.
Because you're giving me very specific information that is.
You're
presenting
asking me to
yourself as an
remember the
expert.
name of an author.
You
the
just
name of the
remembered
author
very
doesn't
specific names.
Joy.
Here's my
We're
question.
talking about
Here's my
strap.
question.
You didn't answer my
No.
question.
I'm going to answer your
Great.
question.
I would love to hear that.
Absolutely. Well, I'm interviewing you and you're not interviewing me. So let's just make sure it's a conversation. Okay,
great.
So what I'm saying to you is that as you are not an expert in this book,
I don't have to
hold
be
on.
an expert to know
hold
that
on a second.
dildos aren't
One
appropriate
moment,
for public
one moment.
school. I mean,
this
come on, let's
book
get real.
is a full context story as you said, of the author's experience. Why is it your right or a Moms for Liberty activist's right to say that a parent who wants their child to have access to this book, which gives a personal experience of this author, why doesn't a liberal parent, for instance, or a parent of an LGBTQ kid, why don't they have a right for their child to just have access to this book? Why is it your right to say they can't?
So again, we're talking about incest, rape, and pedophilia.
And
Joy,
each parent, each parent has to decide what is appropriate for their child to read. So I want you to answer. I'm going to ask it one more time.
Right.
What is your right to tell a parent who wants their child, who might feel seen by this story? Why don't they have the right? Why don't they have the right as a parent to say, my child can have access to this book?
If a child feels seen by this story, that means that they have been the victim of a predator. That means that they have either been raped by a family member, they've experienced
and your proof of that is what?
You just said that
What's
if
your
a child
proof of
feels
that?
seen by this story.
What I'm saying,
Joy,
you're now making assumptions.
No,
about
Joy, but if a child has been raped, we should do a lot better than put a book on a library
You're literally
shelf.
creating a story behind a child that you don't know. Let me show you a form. This is a form that can be obtained in Broward County, Florida. I'm going to show it to the audience, and then I'm going to show it to you. This is called...
See how disingenuous this chick is?
The both of
Yeah, but well, you have to understand what that book is about. That book is about, as the lady said, child rape, and how the book actually has visual, graphic illustrations of anal sex. Also, the use of strap-ons, dildos. It's a pedophile book.
Yeah, and if that was the case, she should have stuck to her guns and let it out her mouth and told Joy what was what. This book is sick, and this is why.
That's what she was doing, but Joy wouldn't shut the hell up. She kept deflecting and talking and trying to. She kept bombarding the woman with questions. It's almost like how they do with Scott Jennings. You bombard me with 1,000 questions, and then when I go to answer the question, now you're coming at me with 50,000 more questions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you're going on this tangent of questions, and then when you give me a chance to answer it, the second I say something that's factual that you don't like, here you come with more questions out of the blue. But the book is a pedophile book. You had parents reading the book out loud. This is the stuff I was covering in 2023, 2024. You had you had parents reading the book out loud at school board meetings across the country, and they were getting arrested and kicked out talking about you're reading smut, you're reading pedophilia and pornography. Like, yes, this is what's in our school system. You wonder why Trump is doing away with the Board of Education? This is one of them. The reason why he got rid of all of that rainbow flag stuff in the school system, making it illegal, this is why. And it's not just that book. It's several books. It's several books. That's why when people call themselves, Ron DeSantis is a racist because he took all the books out. Like, no. These were the books. The stuff like this is what they were looking for. This is what they were looking for down in Florida. It wasn't because he was racist. It was like, damn, like that's just pedophilia. This is smut. This is porn. You got all these gay and trans teachers up in there trying to tell kids, if you ever want to run away, just come to my house or come call me. I got a getaway bag here in the closet that you can get. And I can call a friend and you can go stay with them. It turns out the friend is a damn sex trafficker.
No arguments here.
Right. This is what Joy is trying to defend. Like, you sat up here and said, if a child is seen by this book, and like that lady said, if a child is being seen by this book, that means that they're a victim. The book is about a victim. What child identifies with somebody that's a victim and they're not?
What Joy say? How you gonna take the right away from the parent to decide if they, man, looky here. Any sound mind thinking parent would not. Okay, I would reverse it on Joy like this. Joy, would you allow your heterosexual boy, 10-year-old boy, 11-year-old boy to read such a book? I rest my case. I rest my case, Heifer.
Exactly. Let's get back to this.
Yeah, please. I'm going to hand it to you. It's called the opt-out form.
Okay.
An opt-out form would allow any parent, because you said you are in favor of parental rights.
I am.
It would allow any parent to opt out of their child being able to take books out of the library without their parents' permission.
Okay.
So that Moms for Liberty, why not advocate that every school in America have an opt-out form so that a parent who doesn't want their child to access a book like All Boys Aren't Blue, that they can make that choice, because then each parent, including a liberal parent, a Black parent, a parent who wants their child to read a book about African-American history, then
We
they get their
want
rights.
children to read books.
Why
about
not just
African-American
opt
history,
out
so.
for yourself rather than tell other parents what they can and cannot?
First
have
of
their
all,
children
I think what you're talking about here is a wonderful step in the right direction. We should be having conversations about this. This is about local control. A lot of these decisions are made at the local school board level. And that's where these decisions should be made. And there should be vibrant conversations about what's happening in our public schools and what kids have access to. Joy, however, maybe we could just put all the books with all the graphic sexual content, the dildos, the rape, the
I'm sorry.
Let's do
I'm so sorry.
Let's do a back room.
Excuse me.
This is the part, when I first saw this, it made me want to slap fire out of her. It made me want to slap that blonde wig off her head. That I wish I was a white woman wig off her head.
Put a curtain up in the library,
First
like
of all,
they used
hold
to
on.
do.
One moment.
in the video
One moment.
stores. Remember
The
when we were
books that
little
Moms
and you
for
would go to the
Liberty-
video
the
store?
books that Moms for
and they
Liberty-
put those
the
books,
books that Moms for
videos
Liberty-
with
the books
pornography.
I know that you. I've
We
seen.
could just do that in
I
the
have
public
seen
library.
tapes of
Does
what
that
Moms for
sound
Liberty does,
appropriate?
and you all go into school board meetings
Joy,
and you
this is
read
a
graphic stuff.
disingenuous conversation.
No,
Yeah, they read graphic stuff. Like that book you was talking about, All Boys Aren't Blue.
It's an award-winning book. It's an award-winning book. Big
Yeah, but
deal.
who made it award-winning? Who said it's award-winning? A heterosexual or somebody that's trans or gay? The government under the Biden administration, which was full of these people? You got congressmen and senators stealing women's luggage, coming to work in heels and a skirt with lipstick. The guy that RFK replaced, looking like a straight up Karen. Aren't I pretty? No.
I used to understand that there was something called age-appropriate content.
Right, and here's my
We have
question again.
ratings on movies.
Again. Ruby Bridges Goes to School is on the list of books that Moms for Liberty has attached to every movie.
Absolutely not.
It absolutely is. Let me ask about the people who are making the decision for their parents, because you have not answered yet why a liberal parent or an African-American parent.
We
can't
have
say,
parents who are Democrats who are members
One
of our
moment.
organization.
But you're still trying to make decisions for all the kids. Here are some of the parents that are filing, or some of the your advocates. Bridget Ziegler, the Moms for Liberty co-founder, the wife of the recently ousted Florida Republican Party chairman, Christian Ziegler, who allegedly was involved in threesomes, same-sex threesomes. Mrs. Ziegler was removed from the school board at which she was a leader. You've had
She wasn't
Lauren,
removed
one
from the
moment.
school board.
Okay, you have Lauren DePaula. She was making book ban requests in Alachua County, but then records show that she and her husband didn't live there. They'd sold their home in that county. Carrie Blair in Tennessee, who was arrested for property theft charges after allegedly stealing from Target, skip scanning in Target. Why should those three people get to make decisions about what other children should be able to read? Other parents' children should be able to read.
Do you know that I served as a school board member from 2016 to 2020?
Are you going to answer my question?
Yeah, I'm
because
going
we don't
to.
have an endless time.
Joy, I'm going to answer your question, but I need you to understand that when I was an elected representative, I would sit on that dais. And how dare I, sitting there as an elected representative, judge a parent when they would come to the podium to speak and advocate for their child? Because as we started this conversation, we'll end it. Every parent has a fundamental
And
right
so
to direct the
parent-
upbringing of
so
their
let's
children.
make
And I
sure
would
that
not
we can
stand
end on
in
a-
judgment,
let us end on a
Joy,
point of agreement.
about a parent's
If a
education
parent- one
level.
moment, one
There's-
moment.
See how Joy? Shut up! Let that woman answer your question. But you're not liking what she's saying. Like she's about to say, every parent has the right to advocate for their child. Doesn't matter whether they have a criminal record or not. Does it matter if they have a criminal record or not?
Does not. That's neither here nor there.
I would have fired back. I was like, well, that's like saying that if a black woman has blonde hair, she doesn't have a right to speak about black issues. I'd have fired her. I would have fired back with that. Since you want to talk about black books, I don't think a black woman pretending that she's a white woman with blonde hair speaking on black issues. How about that?
With blonde hair.
Sexual orientation, their race, their religion. That is not what America is about.
I'm going to answer. I'm going to ask my question, Ms. Justice. Mrs. Justice.
Thank you.
If a parent believes that their child should be able to read Ruby Bridges,
we believe that children should be able to read.
Then
Ruby
how
Bridges.
can
She's an
Moms
American
for Liberty
hero.
insist that the school board take that book away and then say that a parent who wants the child to be able to read it must purchase it? That's essentially putting a tax on parents who want their children to read the book. Your kids get to have books for free that you agree with, but children who want to read, or parents who want their children to read books you don't like, have to purchase it. That doesn't sound
Joy,
fair.
did you know that in the city that we're sitting in, only a quarter of children are reading on grade level?
That's a great point. That's a great point.
And so while we're having this conversation
That's a
about
great
books
point.
in libraries,
That's a
two
great
things should be
point.
happening.
That's a great
We
point.
should be talking about literacy rates and the fact that America's kids are not learning how to read, and we should be having vibrant conversations about what books should be in libraries.
Absolutely.
And that's why Trump is abolishing the Board of Education.
Yes.
Because it's nothing but a money pit and people are stealing from it. All right, y'all. Y'all want to see Joy, not Joy, y'all want to see her do her little hollering, screaming, and crying bit before we get out of here? About why, about her being fired?
Go for it.
Yeah.
I've seen it about 10 times, but what's one more?
You can't do away with great comedy, right?
Had value, and that that what I was doing had value. And in the end, I try not to cry on TV. And I think this is kind of like being on TV, so I apologize.
Crocodile tears.
And then
nothing.
it mattered. I see Karen is there, and she's been texting me as well. And so what I will just say is that in the end, thank you.
Here you go, baby.
Where I land is that the moment of guilt that I felt, that I went hard on so many issues, whether it was the Black Lives Matter issues of a young baby or a mom or a dad that was killed, or when we opened up people's eyes to the fact that Asian Americans were being targeted and not just Black folks, or went hard for immigrants who've done nothing but come to this country like my parents did and try to make a life and defended them, or whether we've talked about what the president is doing that is subversive to the Constitution, that is injurious to our liberty, defending books that people find inconvenient, that Nicole Hannah-Jones put into our spirit, that we need to understand 1619 as the real founding of this country, whether it's talking about any of these issues, and yes, whether it's talking about Gaza and the fact that we as the American people have a right to object to little babies being bombed. And where I come down on that is I'm not sorry.
One thing I'll just get a little emotional about is it does, as a woman, feel pretty. I feel like the humanity of women and their rights.
But yeah, I mean, the white woman fake crying thing, I could do it too, but and then you just turn it off.
No one cares. And even in the face of Trump and everything that he represented, that's a tough pill.
Those things, because those things are of God. And I'm a church girl too, and those are the things that I was taught were of God. And so I'm not sorry. I'm just proud of my show.
So flat out, if these are the
Hold
people,
on. Is this the right clip? I thought this was the one where she was crying.
She was crying.
Yes, she is. You didn't see them crocodile tears?
Look.
I must have missed it at the beginning.
My show had value.
See?
And
that's why I was like, here you go, baby, because you see the tears. But then the guy gonna come and hand her a towel. She crying for
what
real.
I was doing.
That's the one. Yeah, that was
Had value. Had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV. And I take this is
Can
kind of like me on
somebody
TV, so I
tell
apologize.
Celie to shut up, please? Somebody tell Celie to shut up. We don't want to hear it.
Celie.
Yeah, we don't want to hear Celie. We really don't.
Look, you see, he brought her I guess that's her husband. He brought her the paper towels. He went and got the whole roll off the kitchen rack.
See, that's
He
that
didn't bring it
delicious.
double. He brought the whole roll.
That's some of that delicious black male hating tears right there. So delicious.
So look, understanding that if women like Joy Reid and Sonny Holston, AOC, Ilhan
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, these people. If these people are your leaders, if this is who you listen to, bruh, like you do not understand. We all know Al Sharpton is a race hustler. We all know Ben Crump is an ambulance chaser, race hustling ambulance chaser. We all know Black Lives Matter is race hustling. You know, they made their the bodies, the backs of dead black men. If you're still caught in this, there is no growth, and this is your future because nobody wants to hear this stuff. So she got onion hair juice on her hands to cry. Nobody wants to hear this stuff anymore. These days are over. These days are over. So look, we going on 4 hours. I'll give y'all a chance to speak. Louis, you want to go first? When y'all are done, say I pass the mic. Closing statement. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Al?
Man, this is a glorious, happy day, man. Glorious, happy day. And we feel nothing. And so I pass the mic.
International J? Probably sleep. It's like Charles. Well, I will leave y'all with this. This is the result of what you consider to be black leadership and all of that racist stuff. This is the path that it leads you down.
Every day it's the same shit with you. It's the same shit with you.
I don't
You
care.
need to.
Don't
Why
stop
do you
running
think-
up on me, bro.
Why are you running up on me like that? Why are you running up on me like that? You are too young to be acting like that.
So what?
You know what? I'm gonna call the police.
You call whoever you want
I'm
to
gonna
call.
call the police. I'm gonna call the police. You better stop grabbing my phone. You better stop grabbing my phone like you grown. You better stop grabbing my phone like you grown.
You can't put me out of
Yes,
nothing.
I can put you out.
Like I said, I'm gonna go do what I want to do. This is my house.
What?
I help pay the bills and I don't care.
What
Mom,
bill
can't-
you help pay?
Mom, you can't put
What
me
bills
nowhere.
did you help pay?
You my mama. I'm your son. You can't tell me where to go.
But if you're gonna be
Can't tell
running
me
up
where
on
to
me
go.
like that, you're gonna get up
I'm-
out of here. You're
every
gonna be
day I'm
acting like
outside
this.
hitting
Why
blocks.
are you going
Come
to sleep with a ski mask on?
So why'd you post me on social media? Talking about
What you mean
I'm
why
your
I'm posting
son.
on social media? Because look how
I'm
you
out
act.
here. It's for
You
real.
just
I
see that
don't
you say
care.
this is for my protection and for my
I don't
safety.
care about none of
It's
that.
for my protection and my
Man,
safety.
get back. Get back.
Ain't no get
Get
back.
back.
I'm not getting
Get
back.
back.
I'm
Like
not
I
getting
said,
back.
man.
I'm not getting back.
Every day I'm
You
spinning
better
these
get
blocks.
back. You
and
better
slide
get
on
back.
it. I don't, what?
You better get back.
What?
Watching this, all I keep hearing in my mind is, I don't need no man to raise my child. I don't need no man to raise my child.
He must have given up, thrown in the towel, abandoned his sad little masquerade. I finally got to him. The power of the press triumphs.